Well, hey guys, thanks for joining me on a Sunday night. My weekend, my weekend has been all over the place, and there's no stream on Monday, so I kind of felt like the night would be the best way to kind of get caught up on everything before we jump into freaking next week. My God, I cannot believe that we're already like halfway through April. It has been insane. Hey, Burner, you're back on YouTube. You're not on the Twitter tonight, man. Oh, dude, there's been so much crazy news over the last week or so. I gotta say too, I thought that my video on Marathon, which did okay for views by the way, I thought my video on Marathon was pretty civil. I thought I did a pretty decent job being objective about it, and it's currently not doing well in the like to dislike ratio. It's pretty bad. I think I'm at like 83% like to dislikes, which is okay. It's not like the end of the world, but I'm like, holy shit, that video is pissing off a lot of people. So I know there's a lot of people too with Marathon that were like disenfranchised the cycle, that extraction shooter game players who are really looking forward to another extraction shooter that's different than say Tarkov or Marauders or I mean hell even Dark and Darker is like an extraction game even though it's not a shooter. Um, I know the genre has a lot of support, a lot of popularity, but the game just seems like a bad idea. But I could be wrong. Like I've said before, I could be wrong about the whole damn thing. Who knows? But just a quick recap before we jump into a little bit about what's going on with Sungrand Studio, which again I hate to see because I really like that guy, as well as his little bit of beef going on with Fritanga Plays. Um, some of the websites out there like GameSpot are actually starting to be a little bit more critical of this marathon game, which is really interesting to see because typically these kind of games get announced and these are the kind of games that the games media will try to glaze up quite a bit. We saw that a lot with Concord. We've seen it recently with South of Midnight. And I'm not talking about, let's say, woke games. I'm talking about just the corporate pieces of technology and media that typically the media likes to give very high scores to or try to prop up a little bit. So that being said, you can see this one here from GameSpot says Bungie's Marathon is a polished extraction shooter, but that might not be enough. And I think that kind of is the where most of us feel. Looks terrible. Here's the thing, Burner. It looks very bland. Very. I said soulless, and then people were mocking me for like, well, it's supposed to look soulless, right? It's just crazy. I don't understand how you can say that's just the look of the game, or that's the look of the original game back on the Macintosh, or it's like so if I didn't play the game back in 1994, because in '94, God, I think we might have had a functioning computer at home, possibly. It wasn't anything fancy. That's for damn sure. My first computer couldn't even go online, or the disk drive didn't even work. But I didn't know of this game back in 1994. I've only known of it for the last few years. But if it was like this in '94, okay, this game's 20 plus years old now. Like, give me a break. I love how forced the positivity around Marathon from the journos and influencers is. Skill up straight up going, the game comes out in 5 months. There's no actual core or hook, but I'm excited. Once they figure out the core of this game that's been in development for 4 years, it'll be great. Dude, honestly, that's the thing, man. It's just crazy how much they're just gonna say things and try to make things happen. Looks like everything's in satin and they forgot to texture everything. That was something else I heard from people criticizing it on Twitter, where like when you look at it, everything is blocky. They look unfinished. It looks like somebody like had the bare bones of the game ready to go and they haven't even put textures on it yet. Like there's no texture, no paint schemes, there's no nothing to it. It doesn't look lived in, it doesn't look natural. And sure, the style of the game might not lean into having a lot of detail. Okay, that's fine. But you can't blame people for not liking the style if the style looks unfinished. The visuals only look clean in the posters and concept art. Yes, there's a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people critical online who have said, the game looked really good in the promotional material, but then they saw the gameplay footage. And guys, I mean, let's be honest about this. The game is already headed towards its first alpha. They're not going to be like massively flipping or renovating the game in the next 3, 4, 5 months before it releases. The game comes out in September, I think the 23rd of September. There's no way this game is going to look drastically different in the next few months. I could be crazy. Maybe I'm wrong about it. I don't know. Let's see. Fritanga calling people a grifter because calling Endymion a grifter because he called out Starfield and Frit was trying to save face because he's an Xbox shill. Oh yeah, Foxy. So here's the thing about Fritanga. I follow him on Twitter. Actually, he followed me back during the whole Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 saga. I agree with some of Fritanga's takes on things, and I also think that he lives off trolling people. Which is why I'm so sad to see Sungrand react so. God, is vociferously a big enough word that I'm using the right context in this situation? Like, don't feed the trolls, man. And I get it. For Tanga, he's tried to adopt this. Yeah, I was anti-woke, but now I'm more like, anti-consumer. And he's trying to distance himself because some of the anti-woke people have gone off a deep end, sure. And to be honest, there's also people who don't like Endymion who watch my videos, and I don't have a problem with Endymion. I just don't like that he doesn't always correct himself when he's wrong. Like, I put out my video on Marathon last night. I put out a tweet corresponding to it, and then I dug deeper, and I'm like, oh shit, I mixed up the wrong person. It wasn't the game director, it was the producer. So I made sure to put a note on that and pinned it as a pinned comment on my YouTube video. I deleted the tweet and rephrased it, put the right person in the context. It's like, I'll own my shit when I'm wrong. Unfortunately, it seems like a few people who are bigger creators just don't feel the need to, which kind of sucks. It gets annoying and repetitive and boring? Sure. Yeah, Korean Cowboy, I can see that. Fritanga's Xbox shillery and his beef with the blacks that shill PlayStation is always going to be his core motivation. There is a lot of that. And honestly, here's the thing too. I think as much as Fritanga has tried to distance himself from the anti-woke side of things because some people like the JDAs and the Orches of the world are giving it a bad name, and have kind of spiraled out of control, he seems to want to distance himself from the quote-unquote console war while also participating in it. And I think it's funny. Like, I think the whole the console war thing is hilarious as somebody who has a Nintendo, has an Xbox, wouldn't mind having a PlayStation if there was enough games to merit buying it, and has a PC that I can play games on. I don't have a dog in the fight anymore. I mean, as somebody who grew up loving Nintendo, I've gotten into trouble now with a few people for not defending Nintendo being anti-consumer in this last go-around. So there's just a lot. It's like I'm caught in the middle of a lot of different groups of people. I'm like, guys, can't we just be a little more objective and civil about some of this stuff, you know? He's distancing himself because the PlayStation Blacks are reporting for constantly saying the N-word on his live stream. Oh, I didn't ever catch that he was doing that. That doesn't surprise me, though. No, he knows that. He's just deliberately doing disingenuous stuff. Okay, fair enough. Like I said, here's the thing about Fritanga. I may agree with him on a few things here or there, and I might enjoy some of his videos once in a while. But there's a few people in the YouTube content creator space, Twitter, people that I've known now for the last 6 months to a year, people I've followed for longer than that. I've discovered that my circle of trust is much smaller than I ever would have thought it was. Like, let's say a year ago. Because when you have a YouTube channel that starts doing well and your videos start getting some views and you get some notoriety, like I almost cringed like to death when I found out that having 10,000 subs means you're a micro influencer. Like, I hate the term influencer. Never call me that. But that being said, you get to that point and you start realizing there's other people with similar opinions of the same like channel size and whatever. And then you think, oh, you're all in this together, and then you realize, oh, holy shit, no, we're really not, you know? Makes me question why It's a Gundam collaborated with him in the past. Hey, Martiano. Not too much, just trying to catch up on some of the insanity from this last few days. You grew up with all the consoles. First console's a GameCube. Your first was a GameCube? Oh man, you're aging me right now. My first was, we had an Atari when I was a baby, and then my first console was the NES. No, Martiano, we have not gone over the Sungrand thing. I was just kind of catching up on the marathon stuff real quick. Howdy, Oblivion. Sorry I couldn't make it last night or Friday. Friday I was on over at Words of Paradise. And guys, I'm going to be honest about something right now. I'm not feeling 100%. So I'm on a schedule with my Crohn's disease medication where I take it once every 2 months. And I'm 2 days away from my dosage. And the last couple of days I've had like insane stomach pain where I've felt like someone stabbing me with a knife. Fritanga's an a-hole. You're not wrong about that. I'll say again, I find him funny once in a while, but sometimes he just goes at people way too hard. Your first was the N64, Banjo-Kazooie. See, I never played Banjo-Kazooie. I played it like at the demos at the mall. I never really enjoyed it. Wasn't my thing. Who did I miss? Foxy Sphinx said, questioned why It's a Gun collaborated with them. Game Boy Color, 1994. I had the Game Boy, the original Game Boy Black and White. Okay, I think I'm caught up on the chat. So basically, yeah, even as alpha stage, what made Marathon so compelling was immediately evident. Took just one match of running, gunning, looting, and extracting to identify the core of the experience, leverages Bungie's pedigree as best-in-class first-person shooter development. Guys, is Bungie really the best in class for first-person shooters? I played Destiny 2. I didn't play the first one. I didn't care for it that much. You know? It just didn't really speak to me at all. No, you're not aging me, you're 23. Well, just saying that you're 23 ages me a hell of a lot, dude. Just my uncles, they're collectors and gamers themselves. Hey, I still have my original GameCube. Dude, that thing has been through hell and back. I even got the Soul Calibur 2 Nintendo exclusive stickers for the GameCube case, so my GameCube's got the decals on it from Soul Calibur 2. No, they're not. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see Bungie as like the pinnacle of first-person shooters, you know? You were a Walmart slash Target aisle player too. Hell yeah, Martiano. Those were the days back when you could actually go to a video game store that had the playable demos, and obviously a lot of people had the playable demos in other stores like Target and Walmart and stuff too. But the new titles, like back when I remember when the Star Wars X-wing game came out for the GameCube, and like I thought it was like, oh my god, this looks just like the movie. At the time, I was blown away. You know. You just got your third survivor killed. Kelted, I have not started it yet. We're going to boot it up in about 20-30 minutes here. But we'll see how well I can do playing distracted, man. Especially because I'm tired as shit. Guys, I took the worst nap earlier. I don't nap. If I nap, I wake up feeling like crap. Kids were playing the video game or something. Wife and I were both exhausted from just having a long weekend. Both of us fell asleep on the couch, and it was like, oh shit, it's 6 o'clock. I got to get dinner started. It was just, it's been a weird weekend, man. Let me see. It says whether Marathon represents a bold new future for Bungie remains to be seen, but at this stage, I can confidently say its gameplay sits comfortably in the genre, feeling familiar, but not so much as to be derivative of its past works. No, the gameplay looks like a combination of games like The Cycle, Apex Legends, not even Titanfall. Titanfall 2 is way too cool for that, okay? It looks like they're just borrowing from other games with nothing really that stands out to me. Anthem was probably better than Destiny. I don't know. I didn't play Anthem. Going to stores and playing, looking at games was how I kept up to date in gaming since I never got a phone until high school. Dude, I didn't have my first phone until I was 19. Then I had this crazy Asian chick I was talking to in Wisconsin. I met her right around the time my brother got married over there. And then, you know, we gave each other's numbers. And she starts like texting my phone. At that point, I didn't even have a texting plan. That's how far back this was. Like my phone was just a cell phone with no texting on it. And so I had to be like, yo, you got to chill on the texting. I'm getting charged 10 cents a text, you know? Oh my god. Yeah, I'm really not helping my case here. Oh, I've been giving my wife so much hell today, guys. I got to tell you a little story. This is like I have to let this one go because I'm being a real jackass over it. I thought it was funny at first, and I guess she didn't find it funny after a while. So normally in the mornings, we each have our roles. My wife will get the kids food. I'll walk the dog. I'll take out the trash. I'll do the recycling, everything else. Clean the cat box, all before I go to work. Usually I do the dishes after she feeds them. But this morning, I was just in a mood. It's been a very bad weekend with my stomach and not feeling good. And so basically what was going on was she had fed everybody. She got herself something to eat. It was like 9:30. I was on my computer. I walk in the kitchen. I'm like, well, I guess I don't get to eat. And she's like, hey, you are almost 40 years old. You can feed yourself. And I'm like, ooh. So of course I wasn't really that offended by it because I understood what she was saying. But the entire day I'm just like, oh, that's right. I'm almost 40. I can do that myself. Anthem looked way better than Destiny, but the gameplay was better in Destiny. Destiny 2's gameplay was fine in my opinion. I just never really got into it. Like it got boring after a while. I feel like gamers already have hero shooter and extraction shooter fatigue. See, Lucia, it's not just the fatigue. I have Marauders on Steam. I've got Hunt Showdown on Steam. I've got Dark and Darker. I've got Escape from Tarkov. I've got plenty of extraction shooter and extraction type games to play. If you really wanted to like be cheap about it, freaking Warzone has the DMZ mode, which is an extraction shooter mode, which actually isn't that bad, all things considered. So it's like, why would you not just play one of those? I just don't see it. Plus, this game feels like it's gonna follow the same path as the Cycle, and the Cycle it has the same vibe as the Cycle, but I think the Cycle was probably better. I thought the Cycle was a good game when it first came out. I think it lasted like what, 6 months? Just crazy, absolutely crazy. Okay. Then of course, before we get into the Sungrand Studio stuff, Death Stranding apparently will let you, the sequel will let you clear bosses without beating them. Have you guys seen this? This is exactly the same thing that South of Midnight has done, where there's essentially a movie / journalist mode where you can at one point just be like, I'm kind of over the whole fighting thing. You push a button and it kills the boss, kills all the enemies, and it just continues on with the story. It is truly just like journalist mode. So I never played Death Stranding. I've got the first game, I think through Epic or Amazon or one of those sites. So I've got the game where I could play it if I really wanted to. Journalist mode, yeah, basically. And I just can't make myself play it. Like, I just don't want to dedicate the time to it. You watch both of them? Are we talking about Sungrand and Fritanga? I've said before, and I'll say it again. Frit, I'll watch once in a while if it's something that I think is worth watching. Sungrand is like one of those go-tos, like Kilted Cajun, who was just here, like Words of Paradise, or oh god, who else? There's a few of the smaller creators who I'm really enjoying. Mr. Hardcore Mode, when he's talking like his rants before his streams and stuff. I generally like the less filtered, more honest opinions from people who do things less polished, less, scripting and everything else. More honest opinion. You think Frit was completely right? Well, that's the thing. A lot of people feel that way. It's just a matter of the reaction from both sides, I guess. So we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, it says Hideo Kojima recently revealed in an episode of the Koji Pro radio broadcast that Death Stranding 2 will have a unique boss battle mechanic. If you succumb to a boss, giggity, you'll have the option to simply move on and soak up everything you need to know about that boss fight via a visual novel feature, game journalist mode. This is good news for players who traditionally struggle with intense boss fights, which are often front and center in Kojima's games. Guys, I heard a lot about people say that the game was a walking simulator. I don't understand. Is the combat really that difficult? Like, is it on like a Souls-like level of difficulty? Death Stranding's a long game. That's what I'm worried about, man. Oh, then DB Wild, don't play Hellblade 1 or 2. See, at least Hellblade 1 was a great game. For what it was. Hellblade 2 was dog shit by comparison. He called everyone casually a blue-hair Tesla vandalizer. Oh, we're talking about Sungrand? Yeah. Played over 100 hours on Death Stranding. To me, it's very fulfilling, making roads, connecting people, and helping others. Yeah, see, Zoltan, here's my thing. I've said before, and I'll say it again, the whole thing about the Nintendo Switch 2, I'm not angry over the price of the console itself. But for the price the console is, it should also include the built-in webcam. It should also include the $10 tutorial game. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, but Reggie went out there, and I think Frit did a video on this. Reggie went out there, the old CEO of Nintendo of America, and kind of threw some shade over at Doug Bowser by retweeting an article where they talked about how they included Wii Sports with the Wii at launch to give added value to the console, so that way players had something to play when they turn their console on, like ready to go. Adding value to things legitimizes the purchase for a lot of people. If somebody goes, I'm going to buy this thing and it comes with a game already and I can get hundreds of... We talked about this before, about whether or not number of hours played has any effect on the quality of the game or the experience for yourself. So yeah, it's just a interesting situation. It isn't until later in the game you can move in greater distances. Well, my question, Mo, is like... is Death Stranding the kind of game that's really that difficult? Like when people say on South of Midnight, oh, you can, just skip the bosses, insta-kill them if you really need to. The bosses and the fighting doesn't seem that complicated. Like, unless you suck at video games, there's no way you're going to struggle with South of Midnight's bosses and fights. There's just no way. You think it's dumb you have ultra easy mode, but it's optional, whatever. I mean, it's optional, it's stupid, but again, I just think it's just lazy for people that use it. I pay $500 a year for games. There's no way I can trade 10 to 20 games for 5. Oh yeah, but dude, here's the thing. That's what we talk about, like the fact that Nintendo does not drop the value of their price, or sorry, the price of their products like ever. I mean, hell, there are games that are 7 to 10 years old that are going to be available on the Switch 2 that are still the same retail price they were when they first came out 7 to 10 years ago. It's the travel time for everything that eats up the time played. Yeah, I don't understand how you could have difficulty in a game like this with like boss fights, unless there's the whole fact that it's a walking simulator and your character is always falling over. I've seen some hilarious clips from Death Stranding. People have like the pack with a bunch of crap stacked on their back, and they're just kind of wobbling, and then they fall, and everything gets toppled. It seems interesting. It seems like one of those games like Human Fall Flat, where your character just is like wobbling along and is trying desperately to stand up. Forced success as a mechanic to force replays for true ending. I think that's a smart idea. Yeah, most of the games that have the journalist mode aren't even hard. Yep. That's 100% what it is. Pretty easy even if you overburden yourself. You can't hide in grass. Bosses, some can be annoying. Those are your items. The game drops cases, which you can get. Oh, that's cool. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to talking about Nintendo and Sungrand, because here's the deal. I want to get this covered real quick, kind of go over the situation, because I know that a lot of our channels, even Frit and Sungrass and me, probably have a somewhat significant amount of crossover. Like, YouTube is really a small place. Something that I found hilarious when I first discovered it, like over the last 6 months to a year, is how many channels have crossover and you wouldn't even know it. Because YouTube's a huge place with a very, like, small niches of, you know, groups of people. So let me bring this up on the full screen so we can look at it and talk about it. The Nintendo Switch 2 situation has been very, very volatile. And I did a video briefly talking about it in terms of how it kind of related to the way Ubisoft was treating players of The Crew and the lawsuit, saying players don't own their games, they own a license to play it, which may be true, but also that license shouldn't just be revoked willy-nilly whenever Ubisoft feels like it. So it's like it's a double-edged sword on that one. But again, I compared the way Nintendo is treating their customers with the Switch 2 to the way Ubisoft has treated their customers, and that ruffled a few feathers. I know Mari, friend of the channel, she was a little disappointed in that, and I understand it. But I'm going to call it out if I feel like us Americans are being taken advantage of, you know? It really sucks. If Nintendo has games, then I want them to make gains unlike Sony. Well, that is fair. Nintendo, I would say, has better first-party games than Sony. But there are people who say, no, Sony's got the best console exclusives, and I'm not here to play favorites. Like I said, I should be one of these people down on my hands and knees praising Nintendo and saying how amazing Nintendo is. But it's like, even this company who has had an impact on my life since I was like 4 years old. We had our first Nintendo in like 1989 or whatever, so I was like maybe not even 4, I was 3. I'm still going to criticize it if I think that they're being predatory in the way that they're, you know, valuing their products, you know. Fritanga's a clout chaser? Yeah, that's probably fair. Although there are plenty of clout chasers, whether they say it or not. And the one thing I don't like about the term clout chaser is it's kind of like grifter. The term gets thrown out there so much. I was accused by John Delarose of being a clout chaser because I went on one stream from Smash JT when we were talking about why I wasn't writing for Fandom Pulse anymore during the whole Kingdom Come Deliverance thing when they were just making up shit. And John messaged me and was all like, "Oh, you shouldn't be clout chasing with those SJWs, and you're abandoning your real friends, and you owe them an apology." And it's like, what clout am I getting? I've lost subscribers. I've lost viewership because of my opinions on this entire topic. Like, if I'm chasing clout, I'm doing it very poorly. Fritanga Plays is a YouTuber. He's got about 77,000 YouTube subscribers. He mainly covers, well, he has covered like the anti-woke stuff in the past, but lately he's shifted to more like going after some of the anti-woke people for being quote unquote fake or grifters or whatnot. So his content leans more heavily into roasting, going after kind of like making lolcows out of people, if that makes sense to you. So anyways, the whole Nintendo Switch 2 thing, there's a lot of hot takes on it, a lot of strong opinions. And if somebody buys the frickin' Switch 2 at launch, I don't care. I'm not going to be mad at them, you know? It really doesn't bother me. Hang on, what's going on Discord here? Somebody join and they can't get the whole verification thing to work? What is this? Oh no, we're good. That was yesterday. All right. His opinions change with the wind. Rob, did you see that he was over there sucking up to Alyssa Mercante? Okay. Yeah, no, Marziano, I think the only YouTuber that I follow that I have any knowledge about at all that was criticizing Sungrand has been Fritanga. So, okay. To legitimize the topic of clout chasing, grifting, whatever you want to call it, what I will say is that Fritanga is really pushing hard, pushing really, really hard to hit 80,000 subs by his birthday in a couple days. And maybe in this situation, he's looking at it like, yeah, you know, I can use this guy, basically use this guy for clicks and views, kind of badger him, punch him around, and, you know, make him look like a fool so that I can, you know, get to that 80,000 subscriber threshold he's shooting for. I don't know. No, not for Tenga, JDA. JDA. So, in a lot of the discussion about that game that got removed from Steam, it was that simulator that where the guy forces himself on a bunch of women. Apparently, one of them is his mom. There's all sorts of disgusting stuff in the game. I talked about it on Words of Paradise's stream on Friday. I think the game's called No Mercy, and it got pulled from Steam. So the thing is, I think the game's disgusting. I'm still torn on whether or not people should be able to say, well, this shouldn't exist there, or I don't like this, therefore I want it gone. You know, if it's not breaking the law, that's, I kind of think it's a really tough thing to do. It's like, I don't personally like the game or any of the content that the game has in it, but that's that whole, where do you draw the line at free speech? Where do you draw the line at what's protected, what's not? It's a very icky subject to kind of wade through. So Mercante is over there going, oh, you know, look at all these right wingers defending this disgusting game, blah blah blah. And JDA is in her comments going, oh no, I think it should be banned. It's disgusting. And it's like, why the frick are you sucking up to Alyssa Mercante? Like, of all people, whether you agree with her or not, why does she not have you blocked? I've been blocked by Alyssa Mercante since March of last year, maybe April. And I was never in her DMs. I was never like calling her a bitch or a slut or anything. Like, I was never being nasty to her. I just called a spade a spade. I did some videos covering her. Question is, do you want mom's demands action choosing what you can play? Exactly, Hook. Thank you. Thank you. That's exactly my point. But it gets turned into this whole, oh, look at all these disgusting right-wingers, you know, covering for this game. I'm like, I think the game is vile. Don't even put me in that same category, you know? But yeah, no, there was JDA popping off in her comments saying, oh, it should be banned. Of course, this is the same JDA who's affiliated with John Trent, who wants to colonize the Shinto shrines in Japan and replace them with Catholic Church. I am not kidding. It's a real tweet from John Trent. You will see him going after people she doesn't like. Exactly. So Rob, he's probably blocked by Alyssa Mercante too, if we're being honest about Frit. But you know, yes, he does side with the McDizzles and people that I would consider to be like absolutely untrustworthy. That's why I said that I wouldn't trust Frit as far as I could throw him. So my circle of trust is extremely small on YouTube. Hey, Rabnad. My thinking is there's tons of fetishistic content like 50 Shades that even women like, so why ban it? Yeah, so again, it's just, I don't understand it. And there are people who go, well, it's fake, it's fiction, it's animated, it's not real, therefore no one real is being hurt. And I'm like, okay, I can get behind that logic. That still doesn't make me like it. It just makes me kind of be like, I just want to be like, I'm going to throw my hands up in the air, and I don't want to have anything to do with any of it. It's like why I never engage in conversations about like the lolly art stuff, because it's just, is it protected? I guess. Theoretically, should it be? I guess. Do I want to defend it myself personally? No, not even close. There are game ratings for some, they don't use them. Yeah. I'm not sure. Sounds like a new version of those. I'm not sure what that word you edited out is. But I do defend its right to exist. Yeah, I think that's kind of where I fall Wild is unfortunately that's kind of the situation I find myself in, is the whole I don't like what you're saying, but I'll defend to the death your right to say it. In this situation, I wouldn't defend that game to the death. I would not die on that hill, that's for damn sure. Same issue between the two because the Assault is on entertainment as a whole and as a single product, yeah. Oh no, Rob, he doesn't have any standards. You're giving him too much credit. He has none. Okay. So that we saw stuff like this. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition doesn't include expansion pass content. So again, $70 game, 7-year-old game, doesn't include expansion pass. This is worth criticizing Nintendo for. Rhymes with Abe. Okay, I got you. I don't know what BICO or BICO stands for. So I think that there's been legitimate things to criticize Nintendo for, you know? Marathon looks like it's entirely selling based on aesthetics. Yes. Grape play. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'll wave bye to that one with pleasure. Exactly. It's like, do I look at it as one domino that's going to fall before they come for stuff that isn't truly despicable? Absolutely. So that's where it's like, it's the whole censorship and freedom of speech thing and everything else gets into a very slippery slope depending on how much you seed ground. But in reality, there's way worse stuff on Steam. Yeah. Stuff in other languages goes way too far. Yeah. Cormoran, it's gross. It's like, I just don't even... Especially the hateful and DEI ones, but I don't need to play those. Yeah, and that's the thing of Oblivion too. And this is one of those situations when I ran into it with John Trent and JDA when we kind of went our separate ways, was they wanted to say, well, you're okay with censorship or you know, banning things too. It's like, I've never once called for a game, a DEI-infested game, to be banned. I can mock it, I can ridicule it, I can say people who play it or support it are stupid or ill-informed, I can say that they're supporting bigoted, racist people or supporting terrible ideologies, but I'm not calling for the game to be banned. I laugh when it fails because you know the games are going to fail because they're marketed to a non-existent audience, but that's not calling for it to be censored, you know? Whole video is just betting himself in a pretzel trying to give Nintendo credit. Yeah, John, honestly, that's kind of the thing. Well, here's the thing about Sungrand, and this is, again, if he ever comes across this live stream, I would be happy to have an open conversation with him about it. Here's my impression of his situation with Nintendo, is Sungrand is, I believe his games are available on PC, but he primarily targets a Nintendo audience with his studio, with his games. So for him, it doesn't benefit him for people to not buy the Nintendo Switch 2. So he is going to try to sell it probably the most charitable way possible. And I'm not saying that he's being paid by Nintendo to do this or that he's just a shill because he's going to support. Look, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be awesome. Okay? There's no question. I love my Switch. The Switch 2 is going to be awesome. The question is whether or not you think that you're getting screwed by Nintendo by purchasing it and whether or not you think the value is worth the money you're going to pay for it. On your Nintendo take, I've only unsubscribed people who sound like they're crapping on Nintendo as part of a meme or console war, worry about pricing. Yeah, dude, honestly, I love Nintendo. Nintendo, if I was going to die on a hill for any one system, any one video game company, it'd be Nintendo, okay? Because that's the system I grew up on. I had the NES, I had the Super Nintendo, I had the N64, I had the GameCube, I skipped the Wii's, and then I am here at the GameCube, the Switch. So if I was going to shill or defend any video game company or system, it would be Nintendo. But I can't argue that the way that they are marketing or trying to, basically screw their audience to an extent, it is what it is. Arlo makes Sungrand look like a massive Nintendo hater by comparison. Next level bootlicking. Oh, it's talking about a guy named Arlo. Scroll up to see a couple messages where I recommend watching one of his bits for comedy. I don't think it's let me see that comment. Let me. You said he's the biggest corpo slave. Yeah, it didn't show me your previous comment. You have access to much worse sites than No Mercy. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'll check out the other YouTuber you're talking about. Nintendo's been the most level-headed about quality and content, not the highest or lowest, but the most reliable. Oh, he's just a fanboy. He's a puppet. Okay. Fritanga's like EVS where he sends his goons after channels. Yeah, Rabnad, that is one thing that I would say people have a legitimate criticism of Fritanga, is that he definitely seems to do that where, again, I hate the terminology that gets overused, like, oh, brigading or whatever, but at some point you have to look at it and go, well, you call a spade, right? He has done the whole thing where there are, like, Reforge Gaming, who's a PlayStation shill, has done things where Fritanga has gone into his chat with a bunch of people and they spam Xbox better, Xbox better. But here's the thing. They're also super chatting saying Xbox better, right? If somebody wanted to come into my stream and send me $2 at a time telling me PlayStation better, okay, it's trolling. But at the end of the day, I'd be like, fine, whatever. That sort of behavior is why you unsub from EVS. Dude, I hate everybody involved in the whole EVS versus Rippaverse versus JDA versus Geeks and Gamers versus, like, there are individual content creators who do good work who I can understand some people liking. And if you like EVS's art or his comics themselves, I have no problem with that. But the level of, like, the sycophant level worship that these people have for their individual, like, content creator or comic book artist or writer or whatever, to where they are instantly, if it's like, if you like EVS or if you're part of Comicsgate, you have to shit on the Rippaverse, or if you like the Rippaverse, you have to instantly defend it and shit on EVS. I'm like, oh my god, guys, it's just like two sides of the same coin. It's insane. He's a Bloom Up at his video today called this too much even for me, or something funniest book I've ever heard. Yeah, but I think this is just people who are trying, much like the Access Media does, to get on the good side of a corporation. And, you know, if it works for them, I guess more power to them. I don't know. You don't engage in comic wars? I don't either. Look, I bought the first issue of ISOM, not as a comic book fan, because I've been very transparent that I am not a comic book reader, but I wanted to give it a try, and I'm like, look, here's the thing. My kids are probably going to get into comics. My kids love, like, the comic style books, like Dogman, and a lot of that kind of crap, like, you know, Captain Underpants or whatever the hell that one is called. And my kids like to draw, and my daughter's very artistic. I mean, she did my little logo on Twitter and stuff.
To show someone how much you care.
PC's better.
It
Hell
is
yeah.
like this tangible thing that you can point to and say, hey man, I love you.
PC Master Race, man.
$dollars worth.
PC is better. Open mouth smile.
But again, I know some people can't afford PCs, and that's where I'm like, dude, if you play on console, have at it, have fun. I don't care what console you play on, you know? If you're worried about a Switch-compatible GC controller, use a Retro Fighter GC controller and pay less for more quality anyways. Yeah, and that's another thing with Nintendo. Of all the things that I would say that they do very well, their controllers and, like, the whole drift stick thing is unacceptable in my opinion. That's been a problem for a while. Hey, Tekla. Happily not into comics. Y'all sound insane and not fun. Yeah, dude, and it's not just that it's like, okay, you like one comic. Open mouth smile, that's what God, hang on.
That's what she said.
How did I not even see that one coming? All right. Oh, wait, that's what she said. All right. All right, so getting into more of the stuff between Fritanga and Sungrand. So I've said before, I love Sungrand. I love his positivity. I like his outlook. I like when he does his serious stuff in the suit and addresses, like, you know, other corporations. I dig all that. Now, I get it. For some people, they're going to say it's a little performative, a little cringe, whatever. I don't care. Hey, Synomics. Black Cat, how's it going, buddy? Best Switch 2 platform is PC. Probably not wrong there. Buying into the Switch 2 ecosystem is approaching PC prices, and there's always this Steam Deck. Yeah, but I think, honestly, is the Steam Deck going to be better than the Switch 2? Because I would imagine the Switch 2 is going to at least be comparable, if not better than the Steam Deck. Like, am I wrong about that? I haven't done a side-by-side comparison of the Steam Deck versus the Switch 2. And the thing for me that's almost a waste with the Switch or the Switch 2 is I don't do handheld gaming. I don't do mobile gaming, right? So for me personally, I don't ever use them for those things. Oh, Caddyshack, yeah. I haven't watched that movie in forever. Holy crap. To watch it even, I'd enjoy it even when over on stream. What, Caddyshack? What are we talking about, John? 1 minute in the vid, he goes, guys, I want to be reasonable, honest here. I don't want to be used. And you're like, right on. He goes, that's why I haven't gone after Nintendo. Oh, man. No, John, so you're talking about that Arlo guy. Okay. The Switch 2 doesn't look that much better. That's a shame. How many Caddyshack movies did they make? You know, I was talking to my wife about it because we were watching Stranger Things season 3, which season 3 of Stranger Things really was the weakest of the 4 seasons so far. And at the movie theater, they had might have been season 2 actually. At the movie theater, they had movies that were currently playing. One of them was Fletch, and I'm like, oh my god, Fletch is like peak Chevy Chase back in the day. One of the greatest Chevy Chase movies of all time. Performance-wise, the Steam Deck 1 is probably quite superior to the Switch 2. Well, that's disappointing. You're going to stream the tech demo for the controllers and the other one with the wheelchairs? Oh, that would be interesting. I'd like to see that, Quillpig. All right, so Fritanga, he started this a while back, and this is on April 9th here. This is after he's already made videos about him. Yeah, there's 2, I think. Played all the games and got the special editions of 1, 2, and yeah. I don't know. I didn't play the Xenoblade games myself, but I think there's 2 or 3. Steam Deck has Steam. Steam has 10,000 games on it. Even if games aren't Steam Deck verified, it doesn't mean the deck can't play it. Red Merlin, you've got a very good point of the difference between, even if they were compatible as far as like the actual specifications went, Steam Deck versus Switch 2, if Steam Deck has the entire library of Steam compatible games you can play, that's not even close. Same performance as the base PS4, while the Steam Deck is PS5 in terms of performance. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's hard to compete. And guys, like I've said before, I'll say again, as somebody who's loved Nintendo my entire life, the one thing that they've never done, even up to this point where they're like, oh, we're going to give you this X, Y, and Z thing in the Switch 2, and it's better, and you're going to be able to play, what is it, Cyberpunk at 30 frames a second. I'm like, I'm not a big FPS guy as far as frames per second. I don't really track that and pay too much attention to it. But on my PC, even with my old graphics card, I'm still getting 60 frames on most games that I play without messing with any of the settings. So I don't know why bragging about 30 frames a second on Cyberpunk on the Switch 2 is that impressive. I mean, I get it. It's a PC game. It's a chunky game. There's a lot of detail, a lot of open world and stuff. So I guess that's impressive, but it just sounds like, I don't know. Got X on Wii U and Switch, still working on the story mode. Took a break for, Splatfest. Are you talking Splatoon? Or is that a different game entirely? Steam has games with $10,000 in DLC, and other games that sell for $200, all digital only. Also has 70% plus trash games. Steam is not comparable to Nintendo. Okay. Steam has a lot of garbage on it. You're not wrong. There's a lot of crap there. But I would argue the difference between Nintendo and Steam is just the sheer... Like, again, you get games on Steam that you have on other consoles that at one point were console exclusives that will never be on the Switch. So, can't you just emulate games on ROG Ally? I think so. Oh, Splatoon. Say that as a guy that built his own PC with a new 4090 Strix and a 13900K. Yeah, I need to put a new graphics card in my computer. So I'm still debating about whether or not I buy the $1,000 Meta PC, just like the Ember model, which is a 4060 for work, and then upgrade my graphics card, and then in a year buy a new computer, or if I just take my computer to work. This is now my work computer. It'll run just fine there without upgrading anything else, and then I just spend a lot of money on a new computer. But I really don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. Steam has high online community. Nintendo numbers are different market. Overlap exists, but it isn't target for each. Oh, you can emulate in the Steam. Hey, Remy, we are just now getting into it. So, for anybody who's not aware, since we have a decent amount of people in here now, the situation is Sungrand Studio, I think he had like 128,000 subscribers. Very positive guy. A lot of positivity, a lot of video game industry perspective and everything else from a developer's standpoint. And, he just tried to be a positive force for good, I would say. He's been getting on Fritanga Plays radar, and Fritanga tends to troll people quite heavily. That's just kind of his thing, besides getting into the console wars, Xbox versus PlayStation fanboys and whatnot. And so that's kind of where this overlap takes place. A couple weeks ago, Fritanga started noticing Sungrand. I don't know if he already knew him or not, but the second I saw him tweeting about him, I'm like, oh shit. Here we go. So you can see from this video back on 10 days ago, this is the first time that he covered even more Sungrand Studio, right? And even in this video, from what I saw, he wasn't too brutal. He was pretty chill. he criticized. Let me move this. This is a terrible picture, Jarrell. There we go. That's not any better. I'm sorry, Jarrell. If you see this later, I'm not doing this on purpose. So I thought in this video, because I did watch this one, he wasn't too harsh. I think he was more going hard at Razor Fist for obvious reasons. Like there's a there's a history there. But he was going after Sungrand for basically shilling or defending Nintendo Switch for their decisions. And again, I'll say this as somebody who I know that Jarrell has spoken openly about how Nintendo is his preferred platform for his games. This is the platform that he wants to sell his games on, is Nintendo. Hey, Vernum. So that's where this overlap first starts to take place, right? He didn't say he's done. He said he's done speaking to industry and will continue with his projects. Right. Well, okay. But to be fair, his video is titled "Goodbye, It's Over." So I'm not. I don't think it's much of a stretch to say he's calling it quits when it comes to his industry videos. That's legit, not clickbait. His own video was "Goodbye, It's Over." I think that's worse than my title, to be honest. This Fritanga video is exactly why I don't subscribe to him. Fair enough, I could see that. Hey, who was up? You had to pee? Of course. Daughter goes to bed an hour ago and she still has to get up to pee. She's like going to be really a lot of fun when she's an old lady. Just put her in adult diapers. Let's see here. Like when you give his developer knowledge and explain graphical fidelity. Yeah, no, so Rabnad, I've been following Sungrand since his video talking about the Concord. I mean, his big video. If you go to Sungrand's channel, where are we at here? Let me see. Let me go to his channel. His big break, and he already had, I think, like 30,000 subscribers at the time. His big video was when he covered Concord. Let's see here. Oh, 860 or 876 videos. Let me see if I can find it in a relatively short amount of time. He had a video talking about Concord's art design, character design, that got like, I want to say like 500,000 views or something. Everybody covered it. It was huge. Like you can see this video from 6 months ago about the Torii Gates with Assassin's Creed Shadows had 350,000 views, right? So some of his videos have just completely blown up. I do like him better with the face hair. Not gonna lie, I like the little thin goatee thing. Makes him look younger, ironically. Here you go. This was his big break. And he had videos, oh, sorry, no, not this one. This one had 428,000 views. This one had 914,000 views. Okay, massive video. This is where, sorted by views, guys, I'm a boomer, okay? I'm a boomer. If you're a frequent watcher of Sungrand, you'll notice that he's become increasingly unhinged. Has always seemed a little off. I think he has some serious depression and mental health issues. Yeah, Asmongold covered him. I think a lot of people have. That and Martin, without calling him unhinged, because I don't know. I think oh, Fritanga's got it. Dude, Fritanga has a horrible voice. There's no defending Fritanga's voice, okay? There's no defending it. I wouldn't even, I know that my voice, someone called my voice gay one time, and I'm like, all right, I'll tell my wife that I'm gay apparently, so she has to be okay with that. The opposite, Jarrell has a very nice, soothing voice, you know? But I will say that, yes, Sungrand Jarrell has definitely had a lot of situations in the recent past where he's brought up the fact that he's had friends who have passed away, friends who are ill, and that can take a toll on you. You know, there's a lot. I defended him in a video, talked about it, where he was canceled from a hospital that he volunteered at. He's a musician, and over some political stuff, they canceled him, wouldn't let him play at the hospital anymore. It's pretty weird shit, right? Oh, Fritz's voice is terrible. Like, again, even if Fritz saw this live stream and wanted to, like, you know, harass me or whatever, I'm like, dude, it's not like anything personal. His voice is just like nails on a chalkboard, you know? That's okay. Oh yeah, Mr. Grice, I've always been a lesbian. Lesbian at heart. Like my same millennial age. Yeah, I'm 39 this year, so we're young men in our prime. Hey, Patriot. I've got a normal voice. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I'd rather have a boring normal voice than have people think I'm gay or annoying. I know everybody has tendencies to say like really annoying phrases, do really annoying things or whatever, but like I try to be pretty palatable, we'll say. All right, so that has led, like I said, to where we are now. and we'll watch this video real quick. I don't even know if we're going to get around to playing. I want to play this game for a little bit, but I also didn't want to be up super late. What time is it now, guys? Yeah, he used to perform for sick children, but they canceled him. 100% exactly. That's the video that I made defending him, right? Because I'm like, wow, this is pretty messed up. Okay. All right. Been around gay men, you now have a gay voice. Well, but there you go. I gotta trust the guy who's the expert on the topic. All right. You don't have the uptalk West Coast thing and no annoying verbal tics. Yeah, West Coasters can have really annoying voices, and I say that as somebody who was born in California and then raised in Washington. There are a lot of people on my side of the country who've got terribly annoying voices, and I don't know if it's like a God, if it's like just a linguistic thing or if it's like you said, like an uptick, kind of a weird tick that they develop. I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and watch the video, and I'll pause and interject my thoughts as we get to it.
Have a seat. We're going to talk. My name is Jarrell. You might know me as the guy who put on the suit.
I sound young for my age, dude. That's because I barely drink and I don't smoke. That's pretty much it. Although the amount of fighting I did with my brothers and screaming matches, family business, all the stress in all those years, at 38, having no rasp in my voice whatsoever is impressive because I've screamed a lot in my life. Holy crap. At least you aren't French. Oui, oui. All right, let's see. Jarrell. Didn't I say Jarrell? Oh, Kal-El's daddy, yeah. Oh, dude, I want to play Schedule 1 so bad, but I have other games to play first. All right, let's go ahead and go with the video.
And did industry speeches. I covered a number of industry topics. I identified opportunities for the industry to move away from malpractices and move towards better practices, focusing on integrity, honesty, and transparency. I have made it very clear that I am not a YouTuber. I am a professional working in the games industry.
So this is one of those things, and I like I said, I want to be fair to Jarrell, and I truly do like the guy, and I love a lot of his content. Like I said, he's always had a very great way of approaching things to put everyone that watches in kind of like a more positive state of mind. But the one thing I will say, he always talks about how he doesn't want to chase trends, and that's commendable. I know that a lot of YouTubers have moved on to where it's like, okay, this might not be as popular, but this is something I'm passionate about, so I want to cover it. If that's what he's addressing and saying, then that's fantastic. I always want people to do what they actually love versus chasing views, right? But I have a hard time with anybody, it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what side of the political aisle, or what your personal beliefs are. It's like, if you've got 100,000 subscribers, you got 10,000 subscribers, you're a YouTuber. You may not view it as your first, like, I am not a YouTuber first and foremost. I have a real life with a wife and kids and a full-time job, and this is a secondary thing that I do in my spare time. Right? No, he's not genuinely leaving. So again, like I said, my title is no more clickbait than his is. His says goodbye, it's over. He's not talking about leaving YouTube. Got a radio voice? How about a face for radio? Huh? You think his position of not wanting to identify as a YouTuber is a bit silly? Once you've gotten to 100,000 subscribers, saying you're not a YouTuber, you can say I'm doing this for fun, and I'm a YouTuber, but I don't care how many subs I have. All that's cool. I just think that there's a nuance to that, No, he does this pretty often when he's doing something that's more of a personal conversation. If you watch his videos, when he doesn't have the green screen background going, it's because he's not doing a bit. He's not a professional. It's essentially his hobby. Oh no, Martiano, I'm 39 in June.
I made it very clear that I'm not here for attention, and I will sometimes be covering topics and presenting topics with speeches that you will not always understand. I told you that whatever I discuss here on industry topics will be for the gamers. I am against anti-consumer practices. I'm against pro-corporate. And I asked you to be patient, to listen, and to trust me.
See, this is only a minute in, and what I noticed watching this earlier, because when I saw this morning, I was like, oh, holy shit, what's going on, right? what I noticed right away is by 60 seconds in, his tone is already getting like super aggressive, far more than I've ever heard him do. Like he does his lecture videos where he's talking to like the industry professionals saying, hey, you know, I'm going to put on the suit and explain to you why you guys are acting like children and why you guys need to grow up and all this stuff. This felt like really harsh. This felt far more personal than those other videos. You know?
I said everything I say in my videos will not be just literal. There's a lot of meaning to what goes into these videos, and they are not literally just to make a video for attention. They are to guide people to sharing their feedback, to lead a conversation toward a discussion, towards people sharing their perspectives, but also showing the industry how you respond to various topics with various tones and subjects, how you respond to certain situations, how you respond to information. Now, when the announcement for the Switch 2 was launched, things were not going well. There were many negative reactions online, and I posted a number of videos that were not just literal. They were prompts. They were prompts for you to share your feedback so the industry could see how you feel and how you respond to certain subjects.
Drill always impresses me, man. Yeah, he's got a lot of talents. Very talented guy. Exceptional at setting an appropriate tone from the scene in a video game to getting his message across. Yeah, but unfortunately, Patriot, this video kind of goes in, against all those other things you're talking about. Very into credentials. His video about stopping a kid with mental health issues. Yeah, I watched that one. That was really interesting. It feels like my dad's chewing me out. That's the vibe that'll. And I kind of took a little bit of it personally. Like just watching this, I was watching objectively, going, okay, I know he's talking about Fritanga. I know he's talking about Fritanga's audience. So I understand that every time Frit puts out a video, he's done 3 videos now in like the last 2 weeks criticizing Sungrand, and I guarantee that there's been a massive amount of people in his comments, going at him, right? But there's one part in this video that I took a little personally, and I responded in a comment. And I'll read the comment to you guys once the video's.
It did not go well in the fact that people, instead of receiving any information or viewing the matter in a subjective way, merely through tantrums, people did not care about the facts. They ignored the facts, and they only focused on hatred and anger, and people only focused on stoking that anger and hatred. And because of that, people turned on me. I was slandered online, which does not matter to me. Again, I do not care about reputation. I have no interest in popularity. But people were slandering me for a time period, and not a single content creator stood up in my defense.
So this right here, when he says this, I took this a little personally. Yeah, Patriot, his tone he's doing for a deliberate reason. I get it, but it's just not the tone that you take with grown adult people who are watching your videos, especially when this all originated because he's been defending the Nintendo Switch 2 a lot. Okay. And I'm not saying that there's any like ill intentions there. I'm saying, it very well could be that he truly thinks that the system and that there's going to be a lot of benefit for players and gamers in the Nintendo Switch 2. From what I've seen, I would disagree. I think that there's a lot of predatory monetization, but we just have to wait and see how it shakes out. But I think that that's just the way a lot of people feel, is that Nintendo's going out of their way to be extra predatory towards their, let's say, heavily American audience, by charging, full price for a 7-year-old game that's just being emulated on the Switch 2. It's not even like a remaster or a remake. So there's a lot of caveats to that, right? But then he goes at like other YouTubers for saying nobody's defended me. And I'm like, how is anyone supposed to know? Yeah. Well, I'm just looking at it going, I haven't watched all of Frit's videos on it. I knew that Frit was criticizing him because he's been kind of, I don't want to say shilling for Nintendo, because I don't know that that's the intent behind it, but he's been defending Nintendo. And it's like, what am I supposed to do? Oh, random YouTuber, I'm going to jump in here between 2 other YouTubers who disagree about the predatory practices of a company in Japan. I know that he's not calling me out personally, but I'm like over here going, dude, when the hospital canceled you, I made a video about it. You know, it broke my heart. It's not just condescending to his audience. It's condescending to anybody who has overlap. I mean, he watches me. He watches Smash JT. Smash watches him. I'm sure that there's a lot more other YouTubers where we all kind of support each other and, you know, encourage each other on and stuff. And I'm like, what was somebody like I supposed to do? Am I just supposed to jump in there and be like, oh, Frit, you're not allowed to have an opinion about this guy? And I don't understand. This video reads like someone who thinks the internet's a singular being. Yeah, it feels a little strange. Hey, Equilibrium. He's developing a game for Nintendo. Fritanga being a console, Andy sent his haters. To be real, I had no idea about the harassment. Well, again, here's the thing. Sungrand has a Twitter account. He doesn't use it. I've mentioned, because I wanted to see about getting him on my Wednesday night stream one of these upcoming weeks here. I thought it'd be awesome. I figured with him being in Australia, we could make the timing work. It'd be earlier in the day for him than it would be for me, so that'd be perfect. And he doesn't respond to all of his replies, right? So I don't have like a direct line of communication to him. He's got a Patreon. I set up a Patreon account to like follow some people, but like I don't know that without paying for a Patreon that he even sees messages. So Debbie probably sees a lot of potential in mid-game stuff. Yeah, Patreon probably, and that's where I said I don't think it's just a blind loyalty or shilling for Nintendo. But I think that what he's missing is that there's a lot of people who feel that Nintendo is stabbing their customers. You know, him saying no one's in his corner. In my opinion, he's expressing his feelings. Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing: it's like, up until this situation a couple days ago, like he started making videos like pushing back against the criticism. Let's see. We'll look at his videos after we get done with this one. This YouTuber I watch, Dezenbro or something like that, made a videos defending Sungrand. If you haven't watched them, I also saw him in its comments, but I forget what he said. Okay. He was hoping for the social media ratio. Hey, Candace. Long time no see. This thing with the culture war, enough with the sacred cows. When you see a company doing bullshit, call it out. Why the heck does it matter how many good games they made before? Black Cat, I 100% agree with you there. I 100% agree with you there. And like I said, I knew that it upset a few people when I made that video. There was actually a gal that responded to Mari, you know, friend of the channel, in my comments on that very video where I was comparing what Ubisoft and Nintendo were doing, like side by side, both being predatory. And this other gal's like, oh, I'm unsubscribing from this. I thought he was better than this rage bait. I'm like, it's not rage bait. I'm genuinely upset with what Nintendo's doing. Like, this is probably the least rage bait I've ever had. Like, Nintendo is doing some terrible shit with the release of the Switch 2. Is Nintendo as bad a company as Ubisoft? Of course not. But I don't know. You can't please it. About 2 months. Has it been that long? Holy crap.
Now, what does that show the industry? It shows the industry that when people are shown information and facts, the hate mob online will disregard any information and won't actually watch videos and won't actually listen. I posted a number of videos to show what would happen, and you guys proved that you do not actually watch videos, you do not actually listen to information, you outright ignore it and focus on just creating hatred online. Now,
so now this gets even worse because, in my personal opinion, this is him telling his 128 guys. I think he lost like 1,000 subscribers or something, because I'm pretty sure he was at 128 and he's down to 127. This is a terrible look, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. This is a terrible look for somebody of his magnitude, of his channel size, to have, because he's telling his own audience of 128,000 people that like him, support him. I'm sure some of them support him on Patreon or memberships. People turn up for his live streams. His live streams are really cool. I've been there for a few of them. But he's telling his entire audience of over 100,000 people, you guys did this, you ruined this, your children, your negativity is hurting this. And it's like, I don't understand. It seems like he's saying, I'm the only person qualified to criticize this company, and if you have to trust me, you know, you just have to take my word for it that I'm going to be the voice of reason that can steer the ship, and nobody else is allowed to criticize anything. You know, it's just crazy.
What do you think you have just shown the games industry? You have just shown the games industry that there is no reason for them to listen to you. You have just shown them that there is no reason for them to accept any of your perspectives or feedback because you just act like children. There is no reason for them to say, wait, maybe these consumers are onto something. Unfortunately, I expected much better out of all of you. This is entirely my fault. This is not your fault. This is entirely my fault because I believed in you. I believed you had the maturity and the intelligence to understand what I was telling you, to understand information that was presented to you. And I'm very disappointed. Again, I have no interest in popularity. I do not care that people are slandering me online and spreading lies. That has no bearing on my life.
Yeah, see, here's the thing, Patriot. Like I said, and I would even talk with Jarrell privately. See, the thing with Nintendo is they don't sell their IPs. Yeah, that's it's condescending. Well, and it's condescending because, like I said, it's not just like, okay, he could make a video and say, look, I know that most of you guys don't do this. I know that most of you guys have supported me, and most of you guys understand that we need to be respectful and positive and only call things out when we know for sure, you know, if we have facts to back them up and everything else. I think that's would be a much more rational take. But whether it's what he's got going on in his personal life, which again, my heart goes out to the dude. If he's got a lot of sick friends, it just sucks. It's like you took your channel and you're putting 128,000 people, and by extension, the rest of the internet who's going to see the video, on blast. I don't know. To be fair, it was probably Fritanga fans doing it. He's kind of bad on the vibe check, but he doesn't want to be specific. I don't see why he doesn't just call it out. Why doesn't he just call out Fritanga? You know? Just call him out. Just be like, yo, you know, I know that there's one guy. I know that there's a couple people that have been shitting on me online. You know? I think he's Trump. I mean, he's in Australia. Getting crowded on Rumble? Nah, that's just me, man. Oh, man. I hate Rumble for the fact that you can't change your account name. I set up my Rumble account when my Twitch name was Run Tebow Run to go with my Xbox gamer tag. And they won't let me change my account name. It's so retarded. His wording is, I blame myself for believing you as manipulator language. It's pretty harsh. So, Patriot, what I would say is, if Jarrell sees the live stream and wants to reach out personally, that's fine. I would be more than happy to even still have him on my channel so we could talk, maybe kind of clear the air. I think that that'd be very useful. Because I do think he's got a lot of positivity and a lot to offer. But, dude, don't try to reach out and get him to message me. If he somehow stumbles upon my live stream and wants to do that, that's perfectly fine. Like, I'm more than welcome to open arms to have a conversation with him and have him on my channel. We can kind of like talk about all this stuff and see really where this is all coming from. Because I would love to have the guy get back on track, you know? But don't bother like reaching out, trying to like get him to message me or whatever. No, I know, DB Wild. I've got both my channels on separate names. Oh, you already wrote him? Bastard. All right, no worries, man. Yeah, no, I know when you guys mentioned the whole gamekeep thing, and there's a lot of misinformation about that. Like I said, in my one video a couple of days ago when I was talking about them and then moved on to the whole Ubisoft situation with the crew, I think Nintendo has definitely gone out of their way with this system to be as least consumer friendly as possible. Now, would I get mad? Yes, Sungrand's in Australia. Would I get mad at Nintendo for charging $450 for a console? Of course not. I think the price of the console is fine, but I think the console should have more things included with it at launch. I think the console shouldn't have an additional $10 tutorial. I think game chat should be a built-in feature. I don't think it should be an extra, subscription to be able to use game chat. Just because you use online services, fine. Okay, I guess the rationale is if you're paying for the online services anyways, then game chat makes sense. But what if you're playing with your friends in your house and you're in separate rooms and when you use game chat? Well, you can't, right? So again, not saying who he's talking to is about he's kicking the hornet's nest because now everyone's going off on him. His style is biting him in his posterior. Yeah, dude, honestly, that's I think the biggest problem. I would say that the best thing that Jarrell could have done is come out and said, yeah, you know, I've got this guy Fritanga who's being a dick to me. He's got his audience coming after me. And that would at least put it back on Fritanga where people could be like, you know, dude, maybe you should back off, right? Yeah, so Mr. Grius, I don't know if it's all chat. It's proximity chat for starters. So when the game launches, it's not going to have proximity chat. So, you know, all those fun things in an extraction shooter where you can go like, oh, you know, you're going up in the bunkers or the barracks or the dormitory on one of the maps on Tarkov, and you can hear guys talking in other rooms, and you kind of have you know how to, like, you know, track them down by voice or whatever. Those things aren't going to exist because they don't want to have toxicity in the game. I don't. No, not Topanga, man. Game chat's just about has to be paid to keep some semblance of a wall up against gamer words. But I think that sucks, okay? I think that's just a stupid way to do it. Look, here's how I do it as a parent. I tell my kids when you're playing an online game, hit mute chat, unless you're chatting with people that we know. You know? It's that simple. So inaptly named, that's what happens when you get near someone you just killed and start swinging your rear. I mean, here's the thing. Play the Fritarded vid. Oh, you want me to play Fritanga's video? It's even longer, isn't it?
To me. What matters to me is that I can no longer create these speech videos addressing industry matters because of how you guys responded. Because I did a video, you guys ignored all of the information and turned everything into hatred, hate content, into slandering. And then nobody stood up and said, wait a second, hold on, maybe there's some information in here. I've been watching all of your videos. I keep an eye on the industry. I watch what all of you post. And I'm very disappointed.
Fritanga's girl was cheating with his brother. I've seen people throw that around online. I don't know. The lore on so many YouTubers is absolutely insane. I feel like my lore is so non-existent. Like, I opened up on Words of Paradise and talked about how or maybe it was when Moxie was on my channel, talked about how a couple times at Halloween I dressed in drag and you did weird stuff like that. But he could just keep doing the same videos. Oblivion, that's what I'm saying, is it feels very weird. You know, it just feels very strange. Hey, Makini Draws, I can understand where he's coming from and if Fritanga got under his skin, but you had YouTubers like Decembro making a long video stepping up to bat form. Okay, so you must have blocked that out. Not a drag queen, man. Dressing in drag, not drag queen. Not like the drag makeup. It was just dressing as a woman for Halloween. Totally normal, heterosexual, you know, young teenage to early 20s guy shit. What menstrual cycle looks like.
I really believed in you guys. So, I have been the only industry professional addressing this matter in the public space in a direct way. Do you understand that?
And see, I'm telling you guys, I watched this video earlier. I watched it, listened to it, sitting on my computer, and I kind of like processed all of it. I let it play all the way through. It sounds worse the second time around. I'm not even kidding. It just sounds worse now. Did that once. All my friends grew up my socks. Yeah, dude, honestly, like I told the story when I had Moxie on my channel. You know, I went to my church that I was helping at, and in my dressed in drag costume with my hooker boots and my fishnets, and all the guys were like, "Oh, hey, nice legs, right?" Oh, proximity chat is a must for an extraction shooter. Drag to me has to involve cars, otherwise it's being gay with extra steps. Yeah, the soapbox got a little large there.
Are there any other professionals putting on a suit and addressing these matters in a public and open way? Who has been fighting for you for the past year? when the previous CEO of Unity, John Riccitiello, put in anti-developer and anti-consumer practices and was going to tear apart Unity as a company and rupture the industry, I first put on the suit and tie, I spoke, and we were able to remove the CEO that was destroying Unity. That is extremely difficult to do. You can't.
Well, John, I'm not going to speak to what his status is as a quote industry professional about how much success he's had. Here's what I'll say about Jarrell. From what I've seen of what he posts from his hobbies, from his personal life, like when he goes hiking or he's working on like building instruments stuff, the man has enough success that he has the time to make custom faceplates for his Game Boys, or build a guitar, record music, all this sorts of stuff. So, and he's built his channel of up to 128,000 subscribers, 127,000, whatever. So I'm not here to say whether or not he's an industry professional. From everything I've seen, he's clearly good at a lot of things because he's had a lot of success. What I just don't like is the tone that he's taking, addressing everybody like all with the same, like painting with the same brush.
Cannot just make that happen. That does not happen every day. That is extremely difficult. Now, my set of skills come from the industry. I'm accustomed to dealing with multi-million-dollar CEOs and business owners. That is what I've done in the past. I know how to deal with them. And you do not deal with them by just throwing tantrums. I asked you to trust me, and you didn't. And because of that, I can't make these speech videos anymore. Do you understand the reasoning why? You've just destroyed our credibility. This was an endeavor with you and me, and you've destroyed our credibility with your behavior online over the past week.
Again, I don't understand this. I don't understand this because unless him and Fritanga, which I highly doubt it, guys. I highly doubt it. Unless him and Fritanga have 50,000 subscribers that they share, because Fritanga's like 77,000, Jarrell's at 127,000. It's a lot. It's a lot, They both have, between the two of them, they've got 200,000 subscribers combined, right? Unless there's a shared audience of about 50,000 subscribers, this is not Sungrand's audience that's in his comments, in his mentions, whatever it is. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen any posts from Sungrand with like screenshots of like really shitty comments. I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure if I went looking, there's probably a lot of really crappy comments, right? Which is why there are certain times where if I'm paying attention to my comments on a video, I'll make sure to like and put a little heart there and reply to some of them. But I get lost with like other shit I'm doing in the course of my day. So I've gotten terrible about responding and looking at comments. I got to get back to doing that. I've got to get better at that. So I'm sure Jarrell is a lot more meticulous with looking through the comments, taking the time to respond and stuff. This video doesn't offend me. He's not talking to me. This is directed to a few people and they know who they are. I'm not offended. See, Rob, here's the thing. I don't take personal quote unquote offense to it. Like I'm not sitting here going, "Oh my God, I'm so mad." I don't do that. It has to do there has to be something really, really, really bad for me to actually be where I would say, "Oh, I'm offended by it," right? I think it's a really bad look. And I know that it's going to, like, if Jarrell thinks that people are immature and can't act like adults and that he's the only person that's going to be able to be mature enough to handle his responsibility of addressing industry professionals and whatnot, making this video, how do you think those children that are watching you are going to react? I mean, let's be fair. It's like, if you think that, appreciate the heart tag you put on the ASCII dink. Yeah, I see you in there once in a while. I try to remember to get on there and look through the comments, but kind of doubting these deals. I don't know, man. I'm not here to like doubt him. Said before, Bourgeois is leftist by nature, not an insult to him. I'm saying that he leans more towards feelings, sensitive, honest with his feelings. And I don't think that that's necessarily, I think part of what his appeal is that he's so emotionally open and vulnerable, Problem is, it doesn't translate well online because a lot of people know that you have to be guarded with your emotions online, because there are going to be plenty of people that are going to try to turn you into a lolcow. They're going to troll you. They're going to attack you. Hey, Red Merlin, let me make sure that you are I'm gonna bump you into verified if you aren't yet. Hang on, guys. I gotta get. Oh, it says you are verified. Let's see. Oh, hey, Red Merlin and Remy. Sweet. Hey, Remy, if you're having trouble getting verified, let me know and I'll get you verified on there as well. Don't feed the trolls. Yes. Yeah, this is Jarrell from Sungrand Studio. Never feed the trolls. I typically don't comment on videos given the chance to real-time chat with the creator. That's fair enough. He's extremely frustrated and feels betrayed. But here's the thing: who is he feeling betrayed by? This is what I'm saying is unless, and this is what I would love to know from him personally, unless he truly believes that his entire audience or the majority of his 127,000 subscribers agree with Fritanga, like, okay, let's finish
2 weeks or whatever it is. There was still so much more work that we need to do in the industry. And it is very disappointing. But unfortunately, I'll have to do this work alone now. Whatever work that I have to do in the industry now has to be behind closed doors, in stuffy boardrooms. I'm so disappointed in you. I really believed in you guys. So moving forward, I will not be addressing any industry topics whatsoever, because I can't anymore. You destroyed our credibility. Great work. I told you everything I said is not literal. I told you these videos are prompts to show the industry how you respond to stimulus, to information, and you responded in the absolute worst way possible. You could not have responded worse. And the only reason I am upset is because I believed in you.
Hang on a second.
Information. And the only reason
look at these eyes right
I
here,
am
though.
upset is because I believed in you.
Keep trying to put the video on 1.5 times, and then I realized it's a live stream. I'm sorry, Vernon. Almost never commented under his videos because I'm usually very negative. I comment on Sungrand's videos because there's a lot of times where his videos will take a segue or whatever, and they'll be really positive, and I enjoy them. All right, man, no worries. New job has you getting up at 2 a.m. Have fun with that, man. Hell no. Senpaku eyes. What's his point other than to complain about it? I don't know. Here's the thing. I think if this was done from a more level-headed, more emotionally balanced perspective, what he probably should have done is made a video addressing, okay, guys, moving forward, I'm probably not going to make these videos because the last couple of weeks we've had a lot of people attacking me over my stance on the Switch. Like drop the script. I know that this doesn't read like it's scripted. He's definitely taking his time, but I'm saying, like, he could be more civil about it and be like, here's the thing. You know, I've gotten a lot of hate from you guys in my last few videos. The comments have been really nasty. So if this isn't what you want me to cover, then I can't cover it. You know, be more reasonable, I guess, would be it just, if your subscribers turn on you, it's okay to be strong. Yeah, if it's his own subscribers turning on him, I would understand that. Being much more positive than normal. I don't know, Patriot. I don't know if I would say that I personally am more positive in when I support, or when I reply in his, you know, videos and stuff. I just genuinely enjoy a lot of the things that he covers in the way that he has a really funny or sarcastic approach to a lot of it. Just being you and acting as you've always been doing on certain channels to support. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the best thing you can do for anybody else is to just be yourself.
I thought you were more mature. I thought you were more intelligent. Moving forward, this channel will be strictly fun, education, and entertainment. I will not be addressing...
Okay, guys, I do have to laugh. This is one moment where I'm going to let myself be human for a second. I'm going to replay this again because I can't hear this without chuckling. And this is not at his expense. This is just the nature of how it sounds. Okay, just the expression and the thing he says in the...
Moving forward, this channel will be strictly fun, education, and entertainment.
Moving forward, we're going to have fun, damn it. Jarrell, I love you, man, but that just didn't come across well. That's like, that just feels like you're going to berate people into having fun, which I don't think is going to go very well. Okay, so I wanted to do a comparison. So Brave Browser, to my knowledge, doesn't have the extension for likes to dislikes. Okay. The tone versus the words are humorous. Thank you, Patriot. Like, I'm not trying to dog the guy any more than he's already been attacked. But I do find the combination of those two things together to be pretty damn funny, if I'm being honest about it. You will have fun. Jarrell, man, I love you. Hopefully we can get through this, dude. Fun will continue until reception improves. Right, exactly. All right, so this is a weird one. He's not been ratioed, but 3.4 thousand upvotes to 1.1 thousand downvotes, roughly. This is, again, just rough numbers. So this video is on its way to getting a very bad ratio of likes to dislikes. I think I'm pretty close to where Sungrand stands just listening to the guy. You know, you know, Candace, 100% I agree. The only thing that I think is the issue is that I guess, and here's the thing, I watched pretty much all of Sungrand's videos. So here was my comment. Okay, let me see. My comments got a whopping 3 likes. Good thing I'm not commenting for likes. I commented to share my genuine opinion. So I said, okay, as a fellow content creator who has made at least one video defending you and has always spoken positively about you, and I say that in all honesty because I think Jarrell's pretty awesome as far as his videos go. This feels like you're painting too many people with a broad brush. The only content creator I've seen criticizing you or making fun of you is Fritanga, and that was due to, I believe, your strong defense of Nintendo. When you were canceled from the hospital you volunteered at, I covered it on my channel. Oh, excuse me, guys. Because it was something that left me utterly baffled and disgusted, but beef between two creators over a difference of opinion about Nintendo's pricing on their newest console isn't something that I felt anyone needed me to jump in the middle of. And to be fair, if it went beyond that to where maybe Fritanga was being genuinely vile in his videos and his viewers were harassing Sungrand, I don't know because I didn't watch all of Fritanga's videos. Like I said, I casually watch one once in a while. I saw him in his first video talking about it, and I didn't think he was like terrible to Jarrell, but obviously there's going to be a lot of negativity that comes Jarrell's way from that, right? 3 likes, 1 your own. Glad I'm not the only one who does that. I was trying everything, dude. I normally don't like my own comments, but I'm like, I wanted Jarrell to see this comment. I wanted him to see it and read it to understand where I was coming from. And I'm like, I can't even help get the damn thing boosted towards the top. It's not going to get any, like, no. It's pathetic, dude. It's awful. YouTube hates me. I said, let's see here. I recognize that much of the information we have at the moment is pure speculation, and that is true. There's a lot of not complete information we have so far about the Switch 2, so some of that is just speculation, although Nintendo hasn't done anything, you know, to dispel that misinformation, if you will. I get that you likely have had a lot of people coming to your comments to troll you, belittle you, etc., and that is never a fun or pleasant experience, but I can't believe that this is coming from the vast majority of your over 100,000 subscribers who look forward to your insight and positive outlook. I think that that was a fair way to go about it. I always like my own comments. I'm straight up scum like that. No, dude, usually I comment something and then I forget. Like, I'll comment on a video from, like, the Lotus Eaters or whatever. And then a day later, I'll see a notification that one person liked my comment. Oh, cool. I'll click on it and there's, like, 200 likes on it. I'm like, I didn't even know. Feel bad for the guy. Yeah, FaZe Beast, honestly, I just wish it was handled differently. Most creators get 2 to 3 strikes with me. This is the first for me. Oh, Quill Pig, it'll be very interesting to see what my first strike is with you. Jarrell also doesn't understand. He's being more dogpiled by Fritanga and Fritz fans because of this childish thing. Guys, Fritanga live streamed this entire saga earlier today. He had like 900 viewers in his, okay? So I understand that Jarrell probably feels like he's got like a mob of people after him. But that's not who he's speaking to when he makes that video. This is, again, I think the thing where he doesn't quite grasp. Maybe it's because he says, I'm not a YouTuber. Okay, so maybe he genuinely doesn't understand the situation. In this particular case, you're not helping yourself by attacking your own audience or trying to speak through your own audience to Fritanga's audience. You're only speaking to your audience because unless Fritanga sends his people there once again, they're not going to watch the video. Well, they'll watch it. They'll watch it when Fritanga makes a live stream making fun of you again. What it will be, you watch my... Okay, so we've already had strike one. Fair enough. Fair enough. I can deal with that. I accept my own fate for the things I admit online once in a while. Why is it almost every person that seems to be on our side is just a disenfranchised leftist? I don't know, but I feel like that's because, unfortunately, both with politics, pop culture, entertainment, the culture war, if you will, Gamergate 1 and 2, there is a lot of crossover. You know? You both liked and commented. Oh my god, you guys. Yeah, YouTube notifications are damn near useless. I think his friends in high places are restricting him from involving his fans. It seems like someone talked to him recently. Who are we talking about, Rabnad? We're talking about Jarrell? You're disenfranchised and you're far right. Well, then you're like on your own little island over there. Right-wingers tend to do practical things. We aren't often drawn to creating content. So now I'm a left-winger. Patriot is calling me left-wing. That hurts. That really hurts. I might not be as far right as some other people, but damn it, I'm not left-wing. Come on. Fritanga defended McDizzle for impersonating an actual Ubisoft dev. Yes. And so did... Frickin' hell, what's his name? Sid Alpha. And Sid Alpha considers himself right-wing, which is really strange. The whole Sid Alpha, Fritanga, McDizzle, Mercante, airbagged crossover is very strange, because these people ideologically don't all line up. A lot of them would probably hate each other based on what they voted on. But there's just enough of this where they all want to be on the same dogpiling, trolling side of things that there's a lot of crossover, you know? It's very strange. There are outliers like Carl Benjamin. Carl Benjamin was more left-wing, though, back in the day. Oh, like he got a call from someone in the industry. Think? You were middle and a bit to the left and center and right. Oh, man. Sid Alpha, when I've seen him tweet about politics, he's right-wing, man. To an extent. He's like center-right, but he's still more right-wing. Yeah, Black Rifle Coffee. That's... Oh, man, I remember one of my better videos back in the day was covering them. I got like 500, 600 views on that video. I'm like, damn, we're making it now, right? Weird piercings and scream about pronouns. Dude, I'm deliberating piercing my ears again. Just little studs or something. I miss my earrings, man. But now I'm worried if I got earrings with the beard and the tattoos, I look like a damn pirate. So, did you guys want to watch another, like watch a Fritanga video, or do we just want to... like I said, I didn't think that this one was terrible. Let me go to the last one, this one here from 3 days ago. Because I watched this Fritanga video, he never mentioned Sungrand as far as I recall. This one's about Marathon. This one's PlayStation, so this has got to be the one right here. Oh, dude, it's not just Kyle Rittenhouse and all that other stuff with Black Rifle. Frickin'... what's his face? The CEO of Black Rifle, Evan Hafer. That man's a freak. That man is an absolute freaking weirdo. Happy to get 25 views over the course of a month. Dude, it's all perspective. It's all about the perspective, dude. Is Jarrell joking? No, he's serious, Face. He's dead 100% serious. Carl was extremely left-wing. Yeah, he definitely was far more left-wing. Who's gay? Fritanga or Carl Benjamin? I don't think either one's gay. Oh, you guys, I'm so confused about what we're talking about. Because Tampanga is doing the man-child thing a lot of lefties do. Fritanga is definitely, despite saying he voted for Trump and despite definitely having more things that he might be right-wing on, like I'm sure immigration and the border and all that, he does have a lot of crossover with oh, the Black Rifle guy, yes. Yeah, that was the whole thing with Evan Hafer was that there was a guy that used to work there that claims that Evan took off his pants in his office, shut the door behind the guy, and said basically, "Let's just f it out on the desk," kind of thing. Like there was crazy weird allegations. Black Rifle. We were at Cabela's. I was finally picking up shotgun ammo for my shotgun I got last year, and I walked past a whole display of Black Rifle coffee, and I'm like, hell no. Coffee's all right, but overpriced. I grind my own beans. Like, hell no. The guy's definition of a boomer that discovered 4chan BC of 2016 doesn't even play games. I mean, Smash plays games once in a while. Not as often as I do. That's for damn sure. Although, to be fair, most content creators who cover this kind of stuff probably don't try as hard as I do to still also play video games.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Bowser.
Okay, so is this entire video him attacking Sungrand? Holy shit. All right, we're not going to spend the whole time watching this, guys. There's just no way. 22 minutes. Here. These anti-Nintendo videos are giving me life. I'm addicted. As a Nintendo fan, never be afraid to criticize the company you cared for. They're afraid. It means we're winning. Nintendo makes fun games, so they hate it when we share their games. I'm getting really annoyed with how dismissive Sungrand is with completely valid and warranted criticism. Let's see. Sungrand is beyond cringe. L take after L take. Dude craps out. Okay, so here's the first not nice, I would say really mean, a comment that I'm seeing. Dude craps out a bunch of mid games nobody's even heard of, and now suddenly thinks he can speak for the community. He's acted like Ninty has no idea what they're doing and need to be defended. I've seen Sungrand stuff. They're like pixel games and all that, but I'm not going to say that they're crap games. I haven't played them. How did someone who used to be so funny with the videos become so dumb? So in quotes, when Nintendo needs his reassurance, why is he talking about Nintendo like there's some neurodivergent child who has trouble processing communication? What Nintendo's doing sophisticated, almost too sophisticated. He isn't bootlicking anymore. He has the whole damn boot in his mouth. Why won't you worship the multi-billion-dollar company, Nintendo fans? This is where I agree with this one. I'm a Nintendo fan, but the one thing I can't stand about Nintendo is they never lower their prices. That's a legitimate complaint that I have. This is what's so hard about streaming, standing with a backbone. It's really not hard. I mean, as long as you you grind your own beans and drink tea like you do. Hey, Vernum, I drink coffee in the first part of the day, and then I have a cup of black tea in the afternoon or evening, and then I have a cup of herbal tea now, because now I'm getting old. So I've got 4 different flavors of herbal tea, which I didn't used to drink at all. Oh, Fizzy Wazzini, you've missed out most of it. Basically, what happened is Sungrand is no longer going to be doing his professional suit and tie videos addressing industry issues because Fritanga has been crapping on him over here at Fritanga Plays because of Sungrand's defense of Nintendo Switch's Switch 2's pricing and their, I'm going to say, disrespect to their customer base as a whole. But again, that's my opinion. You don't have to have my opinion. Like I've said before, if I had the opportunity to buy the Switch 2 day one with the $50 Mario Kart bundle, would I do it? If I had a reason to, possibly. I mean, it makes the game $30 cheaper, even though it's digital only, which sucks. But am I going to defend the Nintendo Switch charging $10 for a tutorial, $80 for a digital download, $70 for a game that came out 7 years ago? No, of course not. These are things that are not defensible, in my opinion. Guy needs to back off the coffee. Well, there's one of those things, though. Like, I'll still do a cup of coffee in the evening. Like, if I know I'm going to have, like, a late night and I'm like, oh, shit, it's going to be a bad night if I don't have some caffeine. When I was on Words of Paradise, I told you guys the last couple days I've been having, like, Crohn's disease pain, like a shooting pain in my stomach. It's been miserable. Every time I eat, I get, like, a shooting pain. It's horrible. When I was on Words of Paradise's stream on Friday night, we were going from 10 to midnight my time. By about the time midnight, quarter after midnight rolled around, I'm like, I'm over here like half asleep dying because I'm like, my stomach hurts. I'm exhausted. I didn't have any caffeine. I should have. I was so ready to get out of there and I felt so bad. I'm like, dude, I wanted to stay later, but I'm like, I just can't do it. I got to go. you have a non-queer game that's plus $10, you're going to buy it, or more importantly, buy it for a kid because it's not the queer shit, it's a tax. I mean, here's the thing, Hook. There are enough good games that you can buy that aren't just explicitly not queer that for me, I almost don't think it's worth the extra $10. I don't know. Yeah, Fizzy, the thing is, he's been getting a lot of shit. He's been getting a lot of shit from Fritanga's audience, so I can understand him being upset. Like I've said before, Sungrand's comments are supporting him, but the rest are roasting him. Are we talking about on his video? Because that was on Fritanga's video I was reading the comments on. Oh god, somebody mentioned Tim Pool. Please don't mention Tim. Dr. Disaster has a video game store and he's really big. Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that about Dr. Disaster. Hey, I have to give Dr. Disaster credit. When I called him and Endymion out on sharing fake information in their videos about KCD2, Dr. Disaster actually deleted the video or delisted it. That was actually, in my opinion, honorable of him. Not paying plus $10 extra for a game when my wage remained virtually the same for 5 years. Sweet Life, I get it. I 100% agree with that. Like I said, I get that. Live streamer was roasting Sungrand. Was it Fritanga? Because Fritanga, like I said, he had over like 900 or 1,000 people in his stream earlier today. So at the end of the day, whatever Jarrell decides to do, he's got to stop feeding the troll. That's one thing he's got to stop doing. What was your comment? Well, Pig, let me go. Streaming with the backbone takes forever to get an audience, but you have way less turnover that way. Well, and Asmon types have high turnover and occasionally have to flush out the edges they don't like. Oh, yes, 100%. That is 100%, yes. Chuchiness, the thing about Crohn's disease, any sort of inflammatory bowel disease like Crohn's or colitis, it's hereditary, but it also is aggravated by diet. So personally, if I switch to something extreme like carnivore diet or something that eliminated like 90% of things that had inflammatory properties to them, I could probably get rid of the Crohn's without any sort of medication at all. Andy Gaming is a textbook of someone without a backbone. There's a lot of people like that. Yeah, that was really good of Dr. Disaster to actually delete that. That was pretty good of him as far as that goes. Is Into the Dead worth a plague? I'm gonna check it out. You got Thrones. You got Crohn's through a bacterial infection. I've never heard of that. That's insane. Yeah, no processed food. Honestly, that's one of those things that if you just get rid of processed food entirely, that would probably have a massively positive effect for pretty much anybody suffering from some sort of inflammatory disease. Need more street food in your diet? Here's the thing, though, guys. Here's what I noticed. My wife and I have been talking about this because every year we've been doing baseball, softball with our kids now for like 5 straight years. Every year, it's always, okay, we need to have more time to meal plan, so on nights where we're at the baseball field till 9 o'clock at night, we're not buying food out, and guess what happens? We never have time to do it. It's about whether or not the company makes me feel good. I bought $500 collector's editions for $60 games because I like the devs, but I dislike Nintendo now. I mean, I get that. Sungrand, Jarrell does seem like a really cool dude. And like I said, I've defended him in the past and have always enjoyed his videos, but I do think in this one situation, he might be a little blinded by his own opinion of like whether or not it's his importance or influence over the entire situation, or his connection to Nintendo because he makes Nintendo games, or whatever it is, whatever the connection there is. I just feel like he needs to not let this be the end. He needs to not let this situation with Fritanga be like the end of everything that he's built. Because look, he may say he's not a YouTuber. Dude's got 127,000 subscribers. Like, pardon my French, but bitch, you're a YouTuber, man. Like, whether you like it or not, dude, you're there, you know? End up having to have over 60% of his intestines removed due to overbearing inflammation. Thank God mine never got to that point. The worst I had was like 3 or 4 years ago. I had spent a month and a half on steroids and nothing else because at that point they hadn't gotten me on medication yet. And I was up all night long till 3 o'clock in the morning in the bathroom, couldn't eat. I'd wake up 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'd be on my kitchen floor till 10 o'clock in the morning because I'd be in so much pain waiting for the steroids to kick in. I'd go to work, eat chicken and rice all day, it would all come back out, and then I'd repeat the same process every night. Did that for about a month and a half. And so in that situation, once they got me into the hospital and got me some IV steroids, some good shit. Oh man, that stuff was good. I was in the hospital for like 5 days until they got me onto Humira, and now I'm on Stelara, and Stelara does fine. It's just a matter of sticking a needle in my stomach once every 2 months, which is not a whole lot of fun. Let me tell you, if you've never been addicted to anything, if you've never done drugs, if you've never had to like have an addiction, you have to scratch that itch like smoking or whatnot. Telling yourself it's okay, I need to stick this needle into my stomach once every 2 months. It's really hard to convince yourself to jam that needle in there. It's like, it's not easy. It's not. But at the same time, it buys me time every few months. I feel better, you know? So. Authentic Indians. Quillpig, I don't know if you're being honest or if that's like sarcasm. Oh man. Hey Anime, how's it going, dude? He's chill. He framed the video poorly. It would be bad if he stops making videos. 100% agreed, Equilibrium. That's why I said if Jarrell comes across this live stream by coincidence, dude, don't quit. Maybe take some time, let it all boil over, because I think the overall most people, despite agreeing that the video didn't look good, most of us would be like, dude, bounce back, you know. Might as well face that I'm addicted to love. Oh, dude, steroids will make you hungry as like none other. So I was on just, you know, the freaking prednisone, which is terrible for you. So after I had my IV steroids in the hospital, which got me back on track where I could eat solid food, I left the hospital and they gave me this medication called methylprednisolone. It is a massively intense steroid. That shit had me waking up every morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not a morning person. I'd go to bed at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. I would be awake at 5 a.m. I'd get up, make my coffee, and that's when I actually started getting back into streaming like Breath of the Wild and stuff, because when I was playing Elden Ring, I couldn't stream anymore. I'm dying, I can't stream. I just can't do it. And so I started streaming in the morning because I'd make my coffee, sit down, play Breath of the Wild. I'm like, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm awake. Like, this is so weird. Surprised it wasn't a toxic shock joke. That's what I was expecting. Give the Bali slop a chance, you only get one. Wait, who are we talking about? How she said she's a really nice person and all that to find out it was only to gain views. Who are we talking about, Candace? Oh yeah, no, the people there are a lot of people, especially when they make shit up to oh, Ellen DeGeneres. Okay, when people make shit up to try to like appeal to a wider audience because they don't want to disenfranchise or chase off people that are following them for various reasons, eventually it catches up to you. It's like if your stories don't line up more than once or twice or 3 times, people are gonna catch on and go, yeah, dude, you know, something's off about this guy, right? Yeah, she was really famous until one day. It's like, dun, dun, dun. Yeah, so hopefully this video is not the end. That's all I hope. That's what I'm saying, is I would love to see him bounce back. All right, let's boot up this game and take a look at this game. I know most people are probably here for the conversation about Sungrand, and that's fine. If you guys got to go do something else, that's cool. We're going to check out this game for a little bit here. Not going to stay up too much later, but Keymailer sent this out to me, and I know that Kilted Cajun was just streaming this. He loves this game, so I definitely want to give this game a check. Hey, Remy, let me get you in and verified. Hang on a second. That says you're a verified user. Well, let me double check. Let me see if I can mention you guys in the regular chat on Discord. And Red Merlin. Yep, it looks like you guys are good to go. I draw him on that as well. Back in 2020, when I had to take it doses, I was functioning with 2-3 hours of sleep and ate like a pig, gaining 15 kilograms, mostly muscle though. Yeah, methylprednisolone is the stuff that's that's the good stuff right there. I have no idea how terrible it is for you though. We're gonna turn brightness up because brightness is better for streaming. I don't care if it ruins my experience. On boners. Oh, why are we talking about boners, man? What are you talking about? You want me to make an apology video? What did I do now? Game just came up in your watch queue today. You just finished Dredge and was very surprised to discover that you like management sim games. Looking forward to Dave the Diver. Ah, there's a few that are coming out, man. There's a lot of those. Let me know, guys, if at some point you want me to turn the volume up or down. Ew, gross looking bastards, aren't they? Oh, an apology video for wearing the dress. Oh, man. The tablet version of that med tastes like death. You're not wrong. Dude, steroids are the most awful thing to have to swallow. Well, steroids are one of the worst tasting pills to have to swallow, I should clarify. I'm confused. Why are these keys unbound? Oh, alternate. Okay, so... looks pretty basic. Dodge is Q. I'm gonna hate that. Depository. Oh my god. Depository is supposed to go up the other end. Oh, Ellen's wife. Yeah, that's she was a model, wasn't she? But it's received criticism because every team is diverse in spite of the year and setting. What's the year though? Oh, 1980s. Okay. Summer 1980. Got it.
People of Walton.
People of
This
Walton.
is your mayor, John Ward. Now, I want to take a moment to thank y'all for your patience, resolve in these most challenging times. It's that Southern spirit. It's that Texas grit.
Portia de Rossi, thank you.
Full confidence that we'll not only get through this crisis, but come out stronger on the other side. I only wish I could be here to see it. However, folks, I regret to announce that today I'll be moving my office to a secure...
Yeah, I never really paid too much attention to Ellen either. I really don't care about her. She seems like a complete and utter narcissist.
All right. This move is strictly to facilitate better coordination with our boys in uniform. Who are
Runs
at
like
this
dog
very
shit? Oh
moment
no.
putting together a surefire plan to retake our city and eradicate the... Huh?
Dude, I'm not gonna subject myself to South of Midnight. It looks boring, man. I'm not gonna do it.
Excuse me. So just hold tight, secure your homes, and I assure you, the tide will turn. God bless you. God bless you.
I'm not sure if anyone out there still listens.
That's how
to
Ellen
this
is.
trash.
Oh, Ellen's like a lot of
But
YouTubers.
if you
Yeah,
are,
not something anyone should be surprised by.
know this. Nobody is coming.
Yep,
to
no worries,
help you.
DB. I'm only gonna be on here for a little bit, checking the
There's
game
no
out.
plan,
But I
buddy.
appreciate you hanging, dude.
Look,
Gimbal Air Simulator.
what they did, it's wrong. It's all wrong.
South of
We
Mid.
are trapped. And staying here isn't an option. You have to get out. Escape the city any way you can. Get out now.
Game setting is Texas in the 1940s or 60s, and it's stupid diverse. Oh my god, dude. The game's boring? That's rough. Oh, we're talking about South of Midnight. Yeah. Dudes, honest to God, I watched Vera Dark play the first, I don't know, couple hours of it. Nothing about it was, like, reaching out to me. And I get it. I talked with Leon about this on Words of Paradise. The games that feature, like, the African, folklore... Oh, complete 150 votes. Where did 150 votes come from? Holy crap, guys. That's crazy. They updated it with a white couple. That's new. Maybe it's randomized for everybody. I don't know. Romantic comedy game, not so much. From what I've seen of it, I don't want to say side-scrolling Last of Us, but it's a side-scrolling zombie survival apocalyptic game. Ellen couldn't take the criticism? Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, South of Midnight is definitely like deep South Louisiana, Tennessee, those kind of places. Everyone voted thrice. It's like the US elections. Oh my god. Hogwarts Legacy with half the adults, lesbian couples under 25% white in Scotland, 1790s. Yeah, very authentic. Very Scottish. Did Texas have that much of bayou areas? I don't know. Not sure how far the bayou extends from Louisiana to Texas. Oh, I believe Houston's diverse. There's a couple of those cities in Texas that are pretty diverse. Okay. Let's see here. So we have Tracy and Wayne. She has a will to live, determined, and a non-drinker. She cannot consume alcohol. Wayne is a thrill seeker. Moonshiner can craft moonshine. And restless, spends a phase without leaving the shelter. Daryl and Leo, Ion Stomach, can eat without getting an upset stomach. Melee weapons are cheaper to craft. Can only cook slop at the cooking station. Takes less damage in combat. Increased damage when using melee weapons. This is more hunger each phase. Why does the black man have increased damage when using melee weapons? That's racist. Holy crap. Sebastian, ranged weapons are cheaper to craft. Deals more damage when using firearms. Morale is restored slower than other survivors. But he's a marksman. I'm getting this feeling here. Like I want to go with this guy. Diane is untiring. Loses rest slower. Passively gains small amount of morale. Or craftsmanship. Do I need guidance? I should probably take guidance. At Costco, almost every grocery group speaks in different languages than English. I love Costco, man. I live at Costco. Looks like 1980s style clothing. Yeah, it doesn't feel very 40s to 60s. Get swampy about halfway from Houston. Yeah, Vernum, the thing is they did have to mess it up. Because they had to make the most annoying character possible. And for people who are like, oh, Hazel is so well done and authentic, it's like, she's annoying as shit, man. Barricades are in bad shape, and there's barely enough here to survive. We need to move to a new shelter. Alright. The undead hurled themselves against the barricades. We managed to hold them back this time. Oh my god, this is going to be, like, way more complicated. What's this game called again? Into the... No, wait. Into the Dead? Yeah, what's the name of this game, guys? What does my stream say? You gotta forgive me, my brain is mush right now. It's absolute dog shit. Our Darkest Days, thank you. Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days. You'd watch me stream The Raft? Oh, God. How about I just go back to playing Valheim instead? I freaking love Valheim. Alright, so we have Scavenge 38 Irving Drive, scavenge locations to find resources. Our current shelter is here, I assume. 2 beds available and closed. Alright. Not having a loading issue? No, the game seems pretty smooth so far. Although I shouldn't have screen tearing on a game like this already, I would imagine. This is a workbench. Lockpick. I can only assume that right away I probably can't do shit at the workbench. Also, how do we switch character? Small repair. Add to queue, remove less queue. Cost 2 out of 2, but I have 2, right? Okay. Go back to her. Repair this. Oh, schedule 1? Schedule 1 honestly looks pretty good. Wait a second, so why can't I repair these barricades here? That's strange. Can I move north and south? You can move up and down. I don't think it was This War Is Mine, or This War of Mine devs. Pretty sure it was a different group of devs. Alright, so that room is inaccessible. How do you leave if you can't leave through the barricades? Hey, fight me financially. Why do your footsteps sounds like you're wearing socks full of gravel? That's a good question. Very heavy footsteps. What's the point of having a map 4-way if you're only able to walk left and right? I said it kind of looks like a 2D Last of Us. Assign survivor to bed. Okay, so that's her bed, I guess. Are we sleeping, though? Okay, so he's working on the repairs. Alright. Take turns sleeping, I assume, right? The dev of this game is Pickpock. One that I've never heard of before. Now, I guarantee there's a hunger bar on all these characters as well. Scavenge location to find resources. Is that where we are, or is that where we're heading? I guess that's where we're heading. How do we get down the stairs? How do we get down the stairs now? Oh god. Okay, we have to hit the W key. Oh, this is not user-friendly. Food and sleep meter, so it's like a Sims game, right? Yeah, this war of mine was 11-bit studio. I never played that game. I really need to add it to my list of games to play. Alright, what can we do here? I wonder if she can craft anything. We can craft a lockpick. Let's try that. Add to queue. Alright, so she's working on that. This man's working on the barricade. Can we speed time up? Confirm actions. Okay, so they're doing those things. The undead hurled themselves against the barricade. We managed to hold them back this time. Okay. From my POV, everyone calls everything a Souls-like these days. Yeah, you're not wrong. So my question is, how are we supposed to leave? I got her crafting a lockpick, which she has done. How do we go to these other areas? Prepare scavenge? Oh shit, we have to actually do this. Oh, okay. Check out Dead Rising. Ah, I have heard of that game before. Where you want out of zombies, Dynasty Warrior style. I don't know about Dynasty Warrior style. You leave from the board. This is what it looks like, yeah. Personally, Dynasty Warriors were never games that I really got into. Hey, Susano. What did Susano say? Didn't know he quit. So he says he's gonna quit doing industry videos talking about the state of the video game industry and addressing other developers. He got a lot of shit from Fritanga Plays. So there's a lot of you can go back and watch the stream later on. We watched his video and kind of went through what Fritanga and his audience has been doing. It's a bad situation all the way around. Hey, we actually have food. Do we have a weapon, though? I don't see a weapon anywhere. Hyrule Warriors is one that I should go back and pick up. You have to be high as hell to play this game? This game, I hope not. You're probably thinking of Schedule 1, man. Here's the question. Should we go ahead and go here? Even though it's nighttime? I will take a lockpick. No, we'll take... medical supplies. Do we want to take crafting components? I don't think so. Alright, go scavenge. Well, what's the worst that can happen? Oh yeah, Dead Rising, you get to play a photographer, that's right. Wait, how do we go scavenge? What are we doing? Wait, survivors unassigned? What? They won't let you assign both of them? I'm so confused. She's gonna go scavenge, he's not. Oh, interesting. Okay. What, we have this man go to sleep while she's out scavenging? I'm so confused. Anything else we can do up here besides sleep? Well, okay. Let's just have him hop into bed. Well, Susanna, we just started it a little bit ago. I feel like once I get the hang of it, I'll probably enjoy it a lot more. Last one I recall was you dying to a Yeti. Oh, you're right. Yes, yes, yes. Oh no, I kicked that Yeti's ass though. I came back and beat him hard. Dude, okay, so on first Berserker Kazan, I am up to the Dragonkin boss guy. Big freaking dragon lizard dude. Played it a couple times, he destroyed me, completely kicked my ass. 38 Irving Drive at night. Probably not a smart idea. Oh, hey, we can run. No, don't return to shelter. No. No, I pressed too hard. Diana gained drained. Oh, no. Go upstairs. We'll go sleep. Hey, at least we can run. That's good. Okay, go to bed. Yes, you enter. That's what she said. All right. We're going to send the man to go scavenge then, I guess. All right. Go to the board. Hey, at least it's not a walking simulator. You can run. Task failed successfully. Exactly. Dude, I didn't realize that they would just let me walk off the screen. Like, come on, man. Who died to a stainless steel insulated drink? What are we talking? It was a great game getting stuck in the mall with other survivors trying to make your way out of the mall to freedom in a limited time period given by the game. Okay. I'm addicted to Wilds. I say every day I'm only going to play 15 minutes and then hours go by. Dude, honestly, I've thought about picking up Wilds a few times, but I just never really got around to it. All right, we're going to send the man this time. Prepare. Now, one lockpick, one lockpick. At least it unloads whatever you take with you. So when I sent her, all of her stuff came back with her. That's kind of convenient. All right, let's go. You got to pay attention closely to the structures, often interesting ways to get to where you're going. Hey, 40 campers. All right, Quill Pig, have a good night, buddy. Oh, a Yeti stainless steel drink vessel? Okay. So, where are the items at is what I want to know. Interact. You have to hold E to interact. Oh, shit, we're going to have this issue with, like, running out of room, aren't we? Damn. Hey, we can punch, though. That's good. That's a zombie. Can I shut the door? You can't shut the door after you? What? You freaking kidding me, man? Now can the zombies climb the ladder? New location discovered. Here we go. You can shut the doors? Okay, I need to. Can you punch your partner? I don't... Why would I do that, man? They look friendly and need a hug. Hell no. You get on a hunt to a Chinese dude that doesn't know his controller's mic is on. He might be... Oh, man. Zombie sounds, yeah. Honestly, what we just need to pick up is some wood. Crap, I brought too much stuff. Crap. Can we move this over here? We're gonna take that. All right. Yeah, climb down. Why would you do that? Because it's 80s America. Oh shit. Oh shit. I don't want to get into a fist fight with this guy, but damn. You're not looking so good. Bet Alyssa Mercante wouldn't survive. She wouldn't survive because she'd be like, I can't go to the gym and work on my ass. Basically, the funniest thing about Alyssa Mercante that I've seen is that she thinks because she has a nice shapely bottom, that for some weird reason that enables her to be like, to think of herself as like hot shit. But the girl literally... Weapon equipped. Sneak behind. I don't have a weapon equipped. I've got scissors. He's gonna turn around. Go up, go up, go up. Oh shit. No, I don't want scissors equipped. I want this axe. Hang on a second. Equip. Here we go. All right, we got a hatchet now, baby. But yeah, Alyssa hides the fact that she has a massive forehead and is going bald with the fact that she can take pictures of her ass online, and that somehow makes her like hot stuff. Everything you find in the mall is an item you can use. That's cool. Textbook skank. I mean, that's putting it mildly. Yes, we need wood. Hang on. What is this? What is this? I want to tell me what the item is. Beer. Bottled water. Can I use it? Hang on a second. I really want this wood. That's what she said. We're going to take the wood instead of the junk food. We'll leave the junk food behind. Plus her tats look terrible. I am a tattoo connoisseur because I have good tattoos, and I head back to shelter. Are we done already? Sweet, man. Look at that. Yeah, I haven't watched the video yet, but I saw that she popped into Smash's stream. Absolutely unreal. The undead hurled themselves against the barricade. Well, we're gonna go repair it now. My man's got lots of rest, so we're gonna go repair it. We're doing okay, aren't we? All right. Yes. Wait, can't we... Hang on a second. How do we take this off? Remove last cute. There we go. All right, so he'll work overnight on the barricade, and then we'll switch to the chick. These poor people are not going to see each other very much, are they? All right, where's she at? What can she do? Ooh, we can go scavenge somewhere else. Yeah, that was crazy, wasn't it? She's like 5'5", her legs are 50% of her torso. Yes, one butt cannot compensate for the inner and overall outward ugliness. You are 100% correct. And that's the thing, though. It's like, she's trying to cover the fact that she's not attractive, that she's... Look, the woman's my age, okay? Here's the thing. I would be less critical of her age if she was less critical of other people's age. But she's always, like, criticizing, oh, these 40-year-old white men. It's like, woman... You're gonna be 40 in a few years. At least try to, like, settle down while you still have something worth, you know, offering. But can I travel to any one of these places? Oh, it's inaccessible during the tutorial. Okay. So this is still a tutorial era. All right. Oh, we don't need the scissors. Oh, so the scissors count as a weapon. I see. Okay. They're not like a crafting material. Crafting tool. And we consumed a lockpick, I see. Okay. So, take food. Although, why do we take food if my character... If you have to feed him manually? I'm really confused why you would take food. Maybe you shouldn't take food. Hang on, let me see here real quick. How do I feed my character? How do I feed them? It's like the worst pet ever. How do I feed it? I mean, we're in the dining room over there. Like, inventory, survivor. Did that actually do something? Okay, I actually used it. There we go. Small chance of causing... Why can't you cook the meat? Is there no way to cook the meat in the kitchen? Oh, they eat cooked meals every night automatically. What? All those tattoos make her look ridiculous? Yeah. This isn't Schedule 1. What is this? This is Into the Dead. Crap. Our Dying Days. So confusing. I can never get this title right. No, I'm going to play Schedule 1 at some point. I just don't know about it right now. What if it was the most amazing butt? I don't know, man. At the end of the day, you still got to look at this at the face, okay? The face is always going to be there. So I don't have to feed my character manually then? I'm so confused. Upset stomach. All he did was... Oh, I didn't mean to eat the raw meat. Damn it. I clicked on the raw meat by accident. Why did I do that, man? Alright, well, let's keep scavenging. She's got full rest. Why not? Let's keep looking. Let's go. She did look cute. She actually wasn't a bad-looking girl. She really wasn't. I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, obviously... Hang on, let's undo that. What else can we do? Portable bed. Oof. Weapons. We need more gears for a gun. That would be freaking awesome. Medical area level 1. Cooking area. You need a cooking area. This is what we need. Okay. This is why you don't carry the raw meat. No shit, man. The eyes are the first thing to go, yes. This game has got Crohn's disease. That is not how I got Crohn's disease, man. Okay? I got Crohn's naturally. I told you my brother's got colitis, and they say that those kind of things are hereditary. Whatever happened, I was doomed from the start to have it, okay? Dick's got bald from the cough shots and it confirmed it. Oh, yeah, no, dude, actually, and it's not just from the shot itself. I know a gal that got COVID, and she never got the vax, and she actually lost a lot of hair from having COVID. So there's something to all of that, whether it's shot itself or just the virus. I don't know, man. You won't play this game then? For Christopher to balance out the blessings a bit. Man, I'm 5'6". I'm not sure how many blessings, and this is not me saying it like in a negative way, but like I didn't get like the genetic. So what happens to this room up here? I guess you can add on to your rooms. Yeah. And time doesn't pass while you guys are just kind of walking around the hideout, huh? Basically, you have to actually confirm your actions for time to pass. Interesting. I know there are some people that lost hair from COVID. I actually know a few of them. Sexy beast. I'm not so sure about that, but the beard is coming in quite nicely on its own. I was watching the chat on Leon's stream, and somebody's like, "That's a nice beard," and it's like I'm looking at it going, "Yeah, it is getting pretty nice, isn't it? It's kind of full, you know." Short guy, your younger brothers are taller as hell. I mean, man, I'm the youngest of 4 boys, so for me, being the shortest is absolutely hilarious. All right, what can she... Let's see, was there anything else I wanted to work on? Just craft a freaking lockpick. Let's just do that. Add to queue. All right. Barely even noticed. All I lost was my sense of smell and taste, but I have a luscious mane. Dude, honestly, Avernum, it's really weird. It's really weird how a lot of that stuff goes. All right, undead hurled themselves against the barricades, but we're good. All right, she is not tired at all. My man over here is still puking, apparently, but not too terribly off, it looks like. All right, cool. Let's go scavenging again, I guess. We'll take the man who's thrown up. He can't take his rotten food. Hair. X. We're not taking the raw meat. Hell no. We're not eating anything while we're gone. I'm not taking any of this stuff except medical. Saying that later you're born, the more perfect your physical appearance turns out to be. No homo, pause. Hey man, no gooning over the beard, okay? Absolutely none of that shit. If he was still here, Nightcore is the only sub on my channel who's allowed to goon at me. That's it. For 9 cases of AA fall. Oh man, it didn't keep the items. One of these days I'll figure this shit out. Not even a complicated game, I just have like damage. Go scavenge, here we go. Oh shit, we have to assign her to do something else. Well, can she work on something over here? Get the barricade keep going? Yeah, we'll keep it going on the barricade. There we go. Alright. You don't go gay for straight men? Thank God. You barely go gay for gay men. That would make that very difficult. So, Empress, question there. How hard did they push the vaccine in countries like Bulgaria? Because over here, it was very common that they were that many places, employers, governments, all sorts of stuff were pushing it quite heavily. All right, we got that zombie. Zombie dead. Oh man, we can't scavenge the zombie. We'll take all. Transfer all items. There we go. Oh, we're gonna move to this shelter. Oh, sweet. Okay. Now she thinks Taylor Swift's cool? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my brother in the military, he had basically all of them, and he's been sicker than anybody else in my family. There we go. She did. I was worried she was going to spot me, so that's why I just went ahead and ran up on her. This chatter got your account flagged. Oh, man. Sweet, take all. Yes. To dodge strong attacks? Why are you telling me about strong attacks? Run, run, run. Crap. Facing the wrong way there, dude. I still don't know if I ever got COVID. I had it. I know I had it for sure. Go do an antibody test. That's how I found out the first time. Yeah, I know I had it because here's the funny thing, guys. The timing on all this stuff with COVID was really weird. So my kids were going to a little private like church school, right? Hey, Sungrand. I don't know what a Fritanga is. Is that a potato chip? Hey, how you doing, buddy? Fritanga, yeah, it's a popsicle stick with a character face. Sounds good. I would stay away from it, dude. I would stay away from that chip. No, it's funny actually. I was meaning to try to have or reach out to you directly, but apparently Patriot said he sent you a message, so hopefully you received it. I was wondering too because you're in Australia. I'm like timing wise, I was sure that you'd be able to see my stream was live, which is awesome. Hey, dude, have you heard about this game at all? It's interesting. I've never played one like this before, but it's very interesting. Oh shit. Oh, this is the one that has the strong attacks. Okay, there we go. That's not too difficult. For a bit, you did answer. Oh, I think YouTube ate your comment. Hang on a second. Let me see here. Is it about the whole Bulgaria thing? Let me take a look. Never got the vaccine. No, that was afterwards. Hang on a second. Yeah, Sungrand, I was saying I wanted to see about having you come on my channel on like a Wednesday night, but I don't know what your timing looks like. Yeah, Empress, I don't see your response. Still cracking up about the Fritanga potato chip comment. That's gold right there. Yeah, Empress, I think YouTube ate your comment because I'm not seeing it. They did push it hard? Okay. You haven't seen this game before? It's actually pretty interesting. It's not something that I normally would play, but another YouTuber I know, Kilted Cajun, he was playing it. I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. And Keymailer was able to get me a key for it, so the developer was sending out keys for reviews and stuff, which is awesome when people do that, especially for like indie games. It's cool to get those in front of more eyes, you know? Post your comment on Discord. Oh yeah, I forgot that she's on Discord. Yeah, see, Patriot, I didn't play this War of Mine. So for me, that was one that I was meaning to get around to. All threats are cleared. You're now able to move in. Yeah, Sungrand, I appreciate you stopping by, dude. And if you go back and watch the whole stream, we were actually watching your video talking about it. Hopefully, you get enough like of the general opinion from everybody that was here that we're all still pulling for you, dude. I hope that things work out well. And most of us would still love to see your opinion on like the state of the video game industry, those analysis videos that you do. Because those honestly are very helpful. Especially for somebody like me. Because I don't come at it from a perspective of a developer. I'm in the perspective of somebody who's just been playing video games his whole life. That's about it. Is that how we deal with Ubisoft, etc. together? Yeah. Well, it's funny because other than Fritanga, I haven't seen, like, I know that Fritanga, we talked about this, he had like 3 or 4 videos going specifically at you about this. Yeah, Empress typically sends me DMs or whatever if we try to schedule something. Yeah, it's Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days. I mean, there's this one that I was meaning to check out, and then, of course, freaking Schedule 1. I'm like, all right, Schedule 1 looks interesting. Not a game that I would normally have picked up on my own, but it seems like the developer did a lot of work. Like, there's a lot of detail in that game. Yeah, I don't like people who just hate on people for no reason whatsoever. Like, okay, I've always said I am down for objective criticism of people based on actual facts. This whole needlessly... It's kind of like how Nickelback back in the day. There's bands that were hated on for no apparent reason whatsoever because it was fun to hate on that band at the time, you know? And I still stand by the fact that I like Nickelback. Their first couple albums were awesome. Oh my god, I don't have room for all this. Gas can. Ooh, that's valuable. All right, hang on. What do we leave behind? What do we leave behind? No, Fritanga is a person. So, Sungrand, I thought when your response video, I thought your response video about your being done with the analysis part of what you do was because of Fritanga Plays. Because he's been going, like, a lot of the comments from people, if you've had people in your mentions and comments that have been going, like, really, really rough, really hard at you. Fritanga Plays, he's a YouTuber. This photograph, yeah. And he has a tendency to go at people extremely hard. And I was saying I suspected that part of it's because he's trying to hit 80,000 subscribers in the next couple of days here for like his birthday or whatever. So I wasn't sure if it was just him generally having like a hate boner for you or if he was genuinely like thought you were like the worst person on the planet. I don't know. I have no idea. Don't even know who Tampanga is. Well, I will say, and I've said this before about Fritanga, whether you like his opinions or not on certain things, there's no arguing that the guy has got the most grating voice ever. And it's funny because I can kind of tune it out. I can kind of ignore it. Okay, I should try to get this fuel canister. I don't know what I want to leave behind. You hadn't heard of that person. Okay, well, Fritanga Plays is the YouTuber who made a lot of videos commenting on it. So that's where I'm sure a lot of it's coming. You've seen some random YouTubers make hate videos of Sungrand this morning. It sucks how they're hateful. But yeah, see, no, I never would have been cool with people just hating on Jarrell just for the sake of it. Like I said, I shared my opinions earlier in the live stream about maybe could have responded better or whatever, different way to respond and stuff. Things that I took away from his video this morning. And again, Jarrell, feel free to leave a comment or even just DM me sometime, dude, if you feel like my criticisms are... But I still don't understand people attacking Jarrell for no apparent reason. It just, like you said before, it does seem that occasionally people lean too far into just hating on shit just for the sake of hating on it, versus genuinely having objective criticism. This is where I've fallen into my videos a lot lately, where if I don't have a genuine opinion to share on something, I just generally don't feel like making a video about it. I've discovered the last few months, especially with YouTube analytics being really wonky, if I don't have passion about a topic, if it's something that I really don't care about, it's incredibly hard to make a video covering it. It's really tough. So what do we get rid of? I'm going to get rid of the vegetable, which sounds stupid because we're going to need food. But I really want this gas can. Wait, no, let's get rid of the coffee. Get rid of the coffee, keep the food. We are the weirdest here. There's a lot of weird commenters right now. It doesn't surprise me. And like I said, most of those come directly from, I would say, Fritanga's channel. Fritanga Plays. Uh-oh. Why is that door there? So confused. We were already in here. Alright, well, it said it's secure, so we should be able to go back to the hideout now. Does stuff rot in this game? I hope not, man. So, Jarrell, I don't know how you feel about this as a game developer. I hate when food rots in video games. Even for the sake of realism, I despise it. I really hate food going bad or spoiling in video games. You meet funny people hanging out bars. You know, Sungrand, I would not even know because I never ever really got into like going to bars or the bar scene or clubs or whatever. And ooh, we can build a gun now, I think. Yes, we can. Sweet. And beyond that, like I don't have any time now. Like, even if I wanted to go out to a club or a bar or something, I got all my nights are tied up with baseball with my kids. Like, that's just not happening. Let's have her make a gun. We're gonna trust the woman to make the gun. Yeah, no. See, like I said, if somebody thinks I've got a shitty opinion about something and they want to criticize me, I'm all ears. I am always going to be down to have somebody criticize me based on a bad take or a bad opinion that I had. But just attacking somebody because it's easy to kick someone while they're down, I think is pretty pathetic. I don't know. This man's going to go to sleep. Apparently he's still sick. Hey, do you heal while you're in bed? I really hope you do. All right, let's see. But no, at the end of the day, man, I think all of us just want to see you keep doing what you've been doing. If it's not for a subquest or a puzzle, just let my food last forever. Thank God. Oh, it's the worst thing ever. If only Magnus hadn't screwed up. Who are we talking about? My knowledge of 40k is somewhat limited, but everything I have listened to makes me think the Emperor is actually a chaos god who's using humanity to feed the chaos. I don't know. Yeah, Sungrand, at the end of the day, dude, make what you feel good about. And if you feel like you have something to offer like you've been doing, then keep doing it, man. That's, like I said too, I'm at this point where I don't want to make shit that I don't feel passionate or good about. It's just not worth it. How does this stuff work? Despite the acrid taste, these meds can stop sickness. Oh, we should probably take one of those. Okay. He's recovering from an upset stomach. And this is for treating minor injuries. This is for protecting a... So which one do we need more? I think this... So now he's healing. Alright, cool. I think a lot of people came to your channel to leave a comment, leave a dislike, and leave the stream. They might not even know about you until now. We talking about me or Sungrand? Frit is unwatchable due to his voice and glorification of drug use. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, see, the thing about it is, Jarrell, I was never going to be that person that'd be like, oh my god, this guy's a piece of crap, or he's lost his mind, or I can't stand this guy. I was more confused by it, because I'm just looking at it going, this doesn't seem like you, you know? If that makes sense. So, if that was more what you were going for, I kind of understand better now. Ruin the vibe for people. That's the really shitty thing. Like, of all the channels, too, whether they like your opinions or not, I've always said you're one of the more positive people I follow on YouTube, and I appreciate that about you. Like, there are people I follow because they have more dry, sarcastic personality, people I follow because they have more analytical thinking, people I follow just because they're funny or because they have good takes on things, you know? Oh, yeah, Faze, honestly, like I was saying, he's intentional with his tone. Well, Patriot, you might have nailed it, dude. Interesting. So, Sungrand, I was noticing, because I was trying to look at the numbers now versus what I remembered you were at like 128,000 subs, so it seems like you probably had somewhere between 500 and 1,000 people unsub, which sucks, but, I mean, you're still sitting at a really good number. And I know you don't care about the numbers specifically, but I think that speaks to the fact that most people aren't going to be too bothered by your results. All right, hey, dude, at the end of the day, man, do what you feel passionate about, do what you feel good about, and if there's room in there for, like you said, industry conversations and whatnot, then just go with that. I appreciate you stopping by, though, dude. I really do. Yeah, no, honestly, equilibrium, that's the thing, man. I don't understand people who would get that knee-jerk reaction to leave a nasty comment and unsubscribe. You could be confused by it. You could be like, whoa, this kind of rubbed me the wrong way, which is kind of like my impression of the video. I was watching it going, I feel like I'm being attacked and I don't know why, you know? But I was never going to be that person that's like, oh, I'm unsubscribing. This guy's lost his mind. It's like, that just isn't me. I don't react that way to most things, you know? Seems like it's around 1,000 people. Yeah. You were hoping for more. Yeah, Lucia, if we can make out the timing work. So Sungrand, I've been having guests on the channel now for like 5 weeks in a row, and it's been a lot of fun. I typically do it on like Wednesdays. If we can make timing work, I'll be down for having you on whenever. Let's wait for things to cool. Absolutely. You take your time. No rush or no pressure there. You went to a club 2 times in your whole life? Empress, I'm not kidding. I've been into a bar, like I've been in a bar maybe less than 5 times in my life, and I've gone to a club like maybe twice, once. I don't know. All right, so my wife is telling me it's bedtime, and to be fair, she's not wrong. It's almost midnight. Yeah, honestly, Jarrell, at the end of the day, Fritanga, who's not a drink, not a beverage, not a cookie, not a dessert item, he's been doing this off and on with different YouTubers or streamers or content creators for a long time, and he's done it against like Sweet Movie Inc., but he's also criticized a lot of the anti-woke people. So he's just kind of making the rounds trolling people, and unfortunately, I noticed this a couple weeks ago when I was watching some of the things that he was posting, like, oh, it seemed like he was kind of like going at you, and I'm like, what do I do in this situation? Because I didn't feel like there was room for me to jump in the middle, because it's just like, well, the first video and the only video I saw of him talking about you was pretty fair. It wasn't like really, really rude. And then I saw like recently we were just talking about the stream that he made a video that was 22 minutes of nothing but talking about you, and I'm like, all right, I didn't see that one, you know, and I haven't watched it yet. And to be honest, I don't really feel like watching Fritanga for 22 minutes straight. So I get it now. I get that he's been going at you pretty hard. You go to a bar, a bunch of old dudes' wives will just hit on you. That's because you got the hair, man. That's because you got like the nice, long, luxurious hair. Me, I got no hair up top. All my hair is right here. So, channel video titles back that claim. Never watched their content. Yeah, man, we'll figure out a good time. Agnes is the son of the emperor who screws things up. Not the only one, but it's complicated. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I have to get into the whole 40K lore at some point, because if they are making that show, if Henry Cavill's going to be doing that, and it's going to be worth watching at all, I would love to actually know something about 40K lore. So I gotta watch more of your videos, 40K Empress. Tan skin, so exotic. Oh my god. What? That's like on The Office when Michael first meets Karen the third season when they remerged the two branches, and he sees her and she's like half black, and he's like, "Wow, you look so exotic. Was your dad a GI?" Like, oh my god. Ride or die subscribers, and there's those who just hang on. I lost a few, man. I lost a bunch of subscribers when I wouldn't join in with John De La Rose and attack Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 as gay pedophilia. It wasn't. And so my channel went through a bit of that where I lost like 50 subscribers overnight. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to lie. You can hate the game, you can criticize the game director, and you can have valid criticism, but I'm not going to tell a lie to gain more subscribers. Yeah, and Rabnat, I would rather those people hang around. I would rather those people disagree with you but stick around, because that's what makes all of it worth it, you know? Having disagreements and having differences of opinion, but still managing at the end of the day to be respectful about it, I think is definitely that's like something that not everybody has. Oh, Sungrand, she's used to it, man, unfortunately. Well, NTZ, you can ask him. He's right here, man. This is my typical bedtime. I seem to forget that. Well, yeah, Sungrand, if you're in Australia, as I understand, so you are anywhere around 19 hours ahead of me, but 19 hours behind, but a day ahead, basically. So I think if it's midnight here, it's got to be about 9 p.m. your time. So yeah. Still fighting the culture war. I gotta be very picky on channels. You know, Lugia, the thing about it is, you can view it as a culture war, you can view it as Gamergate, you can view it as just wanting good video games, you can view it as more of a sociological thing than a political thing. Everyone's gonna have different levels of involvement. And I think we talked about this earlier, the biggest problem, and where you see a lot of like the leftist personalities come through and a lot of what we see with a lot of current right-wing space commentators, it's just because a lot of people all kind of got under one umbrella, and we're starting to see now that we've gotten things back to being a little more normal, where there's a lot of different ideologies that aren't meshing, getting a lot more headbutting, right? It's unfortunate. Your comments still on Discord? Oh, let me take a look at that. Hang on a sec. Sorry, I don't typically have Discord up on my computer just because it's freaking annoying, but I've got it on my phone. Many people dropped from the vax. People are getting kidney failures. Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt. Yep. Yes, the whole the horse paste thing. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. No. We didn't do any of the shots and stuff here. I had no interest in it. But I'm that rare specimen, guys. You guys are all gonna be like looking at me like, how are you still alive? I've never had a single vaccine in my life. My mom, I have 3 older brothers. My mom got the first 2 vaccinated, and the third brother, I think, is the one that had issues with one of the vaccines he got as a baby. And so, like, a lot of bad reactions, and so my mom was like, screw it, and then I didn't get a single shot my entire life. So I was looking at doing the fire department a couple years ago, and I was looking at this list of things I was going to have to get shots for, and it's like, holy crap. Oh, man. Hear your response to her message? Yeah, no, 40K. I feel you on that message. Drinking bleach. No. No drinking bleach. None of that. Alright, Sungrand, I appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to get some sleep. And hopefully, like I said, just let's let things calm down. Maybe we can coordinate a time to actually get together and chat. Maybe get a stream going. I think this is just a temporary set. And like you said, if this is to kind of weed out that extra negativity you've been seeing developing, then hey, more power to you. I just was looking at it going, I don't know what the hell. No flying cars or skateboards since Switch 2 isn't even out yet. Pure blood, yeah. Like I said, the only thing I've got is a bad back, which was from doing too many deadlifts at the gym, and Crohn's disease, which apparently is genetic, but it's more likely from processed. Hey, Mahendra, thanks for stopping by, buddy. I know you didn't get to be here for very long, but... I know this stream was bigger than usual. They were probably expecting me to be, like, fanning the flames and hating on people, but I typically don't do that. When I cover these things that are about things that are a little more inflammatory, I try to offer my opinion without going, like, full scale, oh, yes, this is melting down, this is glorious, because at the end of the day, that's not what I want to see, you know? So to anybody who thought that that was going to happen, no, I like to have civil discussions here. We get critical. We'll say things that we mean, but I try to keep it chill. So, we'll do 40k. Yeah, Jarrell, I'm glad to hear that you're good, though. And hopefully things all go well and things turn out for the best. At some point, you do have a lot to say. Dude, honestly, Ravna, that's the thing. If you've got a lot to say and a way to say it and convey it in a informative manner, do it. There's no reason not to, man. Do it and give it a try. If it's not for you, it's not. If it is, then it'll work. So, all right, guys, I'm going to hit the hay. Again, this game seems pretty cool. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to play it too much, but I do need to get some sleep at some point because tomorrow is Monday. So, it is what it is. All right, y'all, but thank you for hanging. I really appreciate y'all guys for staying here, stopping by. Jarrell, thanks for dropping in. I will catch you guys not tomorrow, not streaming tomorrow night. I'll be over on Moxie Dame's channel, and then back on Wednesday. Not sure who my guest for Wednesday is. Yeah, this could be really interesting to figure out. We'll see. Yeah, like the video, peeps. There you go. Hey, thank you guys all for being civil. I know that we've had a few people that were a little more vocal than others, and that's okay to have an opinion. But at the end of the day, like I said, civil conversation is the only way that we get through most of it. All right, y'all, take it easy. Have a good night. Enjoy your week. I will catch you guys back here on Wednesday night.